What a servant he's been for the club.
I'm the top man in this division. I'm going to prove it again and again and again.
Makhmudov wrestling with an extremely big bear.
Wrestling with bears.
Wrestling bears.
All my life, God prepared me for this moment.
Makhmudov connects with those power shots.
Makhmudov wants to meet him and trade with him.
The Lion, Arslanbek Makhmudov.
I'm going to lay him unconscious on Saturday night at Tottenham.
Fury with the uppercut. What a punch!
I'm going to make an example of him.
It's going to be my time. It's going to be my hunting. Can't wait.
Welcome to it. It is Fight Night on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall. It is a pleasure as always to be in your company. We are bringing you a little bit of extra coverage in and around tonight's action from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Tyson Fury returns to the ring after his 5th retirement, taking on Arslanbek Makhmudov in the co-main event, which is about to get underway. Conor Benn taking on Regis Prograis. Joining me for this different type of night as we cover tonight's boxing, the one and only Mr. Spencer Oliver and the former Cruiserweight World Champion, Mr. Johnny Nelson. Spence, how are you, my man? Are we good?
Very good, mate. Very good. Looking forward to this. Excited.
Sound it.
Yeah, I am, mate. I was just, you know what I was trying to do? I was trying to fix my ears up then because Hard.
Have you not got your headphones on, son?
Yeah, I've got them on now.
Yeah?
But Hard's left me hanging. Like, he come in, he said, yeah, I'll fix them up in the break. I was like,
Our job producer, right? He's got bigger things to fry than you putting your headphones on.
I'm just
anyway,
he's telling me I can't set him up, but anyway, that's another story. Let's move on.
Anyway, you're on. Mr. Nelson, how are you, pal?
I'm good, thank you. What a place to be Saturday night, big fight. Better than being stuck in traffic for 2 hours trying to get out of Tottenham, isn't it?
Oh, tell me about it. There's nothing better than a studio show than that like this. Listen, we've got an action-packed show. We are going to be crossing over live to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium at certain points throughout the course of the evening. Gareth Davies is there. We've also got people out and about speaking to the fans on the street and in the pubs of various parts of London, so we'll be crossing over to those as well, and hopefully a few guests are going to be joining us on the show. We are on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. You can come and join us there for the watch-along, which is currently going on as round 1 gets underway in the fight between Conor Benn and Regis Prograis. Lots to talk about tonight, gentlemen. We'll start, obviously, with this one, and I'm going to give you a loaded question straight away. Obviously, there's a lot on tonight for Conor Benn. There's been a big narrative in and around this particular fight that he's taking with Regis Prograis. What is the threat, first and foremost, of Regis Prograis, former champion at £140, Spence? What are you seeing?
Listen, Regis Prograis is proven. He's proven at that level. He's a 2-time world champion, albeit past his best right now, but he's dangerous. He's heavy-handed. 23 of his 30 victories have come inside the distance. The kid can whack. He's got experience. That's what makes him dangerous. Conor Benn obviously coming down from 160. Okay, he campaigned at 147. He hasn't done that now for the last 4 years, 147. But coming back down from 160, Johnny will, back me up on this. Like, when a fighter goes up and he stays there for a number of time, then it can be very difficult to come down and maintain that strength. And I think we saw that this week, didn't we, with Conor Benn? He did look drained. He did look very weight drained. And will that take its toll later on in the fight? Because Prograis has that experience, and he'll probably recognise, if I can take this kid into the second half of the fight, I've got a great chance.
And we saw that historically when Roy Jones stepped up the heavyweight. He was never the same fighter once he dropped back down again. Right here in the first round, you see now Conor's gone. He went in with a nice, solid jab for the first 30 seconds. And Prograis kind of sucked it up, saw what was in front of him. Then Prograis now using that experience, that wisdom that Conor hasn't got to try and tap his way through, figure out the measure. And Conor's widespread, he looks strong, he looks solid at it. But now it's kind of steadying him up a bit. Prograis gone in with a left to the body earlier on. Conor stepped back again. But now you can see this wisdom, the smarts of Prograis may just be a bag of trouble for Conor. I do expect Conor to, timing is everything, to be too young, too fresh, too consistent with him. But right now, I can see the wisdom of Prograis will be a problem going through. See how he caught me that straight left from the southpaw stance.
I can, yeah, but people obviously listening to us can't. All they having a mess. Listen, shape-wise, for people tuning in that obviously aren't watching this, because we've got the screen on in the studio, size-wise, for me, just the naked eye of that, Conor just touched down with his knee there, and referee did nothing, didn't he?
No.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll come back to that in a minute, but shape-wise, size-wise, Conor looks quite the bigger man in there compared to Regis Prograis.
Absolutely, and he is. Regis Prograis never boxed above 142 pounds. I mean, we remember that great fight he had back in 2019 with Josh Taylor. That was for the lightweight title. That was down at 130, 135. Oh, Prograis gone there at the end of the round. He shipped a big right hand and the legs just buckled there. He's going to need all of that minute. But yeah, Conor Benn, the much bigger fighter, and we just saw there. Prograis was doing well in that round, by the way. Up until then, he was landing, those straight left hands through the middle. Conor Benn was struggling a little bit. The heads were coming together quite a lot, but Ben had sort of massive breakthrough there at the end of the round. Straight right hand.
Kind of a story of two halves. First half Conor, second half Prograis, and then that shot. At first, Conor actually tripped over himself. I think the feet clashed. He went onto a knee. Referee made him carry on. But that last finishing shot, it was boom, boom. And Prograis kind of, his knees dipped a little bit. That was it. It was a sweeping right to be behind the temple, behind the left ear.
Johnny, just give me a little bit of insight from the technical point of view of fighting a southpaw as you're shaping up as an orthodox fighter. You've just been mentioning feet there and coming together.
Southpaws are a nightmare because there's not many of them around, and most of the time when you're in the gym, you're fighting an orthodox fighter, lead hand, left hand, lead foot, left foot. But then when you get him with a southpaw, his lead hand is his right hand, his lead foot is a right foot. So then you've got to negate the timing. You've got to negate which shot will work. Now, southpaws are used to sparring with an array of orthodox fighters, so they're used to the jab coming. They're used to getting the advantage of slinging their backhand, left hand straight through. Whereas for orthodox fighters, they've got to, you forget, and you keep getting caught with shots that you think, well, how is he doing that? And it's that awkwardness of that southpaw style that many people struggle with. In our gym, Brendan made us, everything we did as orthodox fighters, we have to do a southpaw. And so you could switch and feel comfortable doing it.
Offensively and defensively?
Offensively and defensively. You have to switch. So it had to be like walking, talking, drinking water. It had to be so natural. So whenever you got in with a southpaw and orthodox, it made no difference. And it was a nightmare for people fighting us.
Spence, when you're fighting a southpaw, how different is the range?
Oh, massively. Like when you're fighting a southpaw, from an orthodox's point of view, they need to feint with a jab. They punch with the jab to the gloves, and they throw the right hand is really a lead. The backhand is a lead because that finds the range. Then you come back with your left hand. But if you make the mistake of trying to lead with that left hand and committing with that left hand, the southpaw comes over the top with that right hook over the top. So the adjustments are massive. You must know what you're doing when you're boxing a southpaw. My trainer was a southpaw, so that sort of helped me in my fights when I box southpaws. But yeah, it's very, very different. It's very different. But Conor Benn here is just going wild. He's letting the shots go. He's sort of jumping in. He's taking a risk, gambling a little bit, rolling the dice early on, but he's having success because Prograis is looking vulnerable here. He's looking unsteady on his legs.
Conor's got to fight for the right reasons, because if he's fighting for the reasons there's like, you see Eddie sat there ringside, can you imagine having a bubble over his head and what he'd be thinking there? You see everybody around there. Conor's got to fight for the reasons to win the fight. That's a clash of the feet. Prograis went down again. Clash of the feet wasn't a shot. So Conor's got to fight for the right reasons, because the pace he started, unless he can keep this up all the way through the 10 rounds, Prograis, if he's still around, is going to be a nightmare for him when you get to round 6 onwards.
And let me just add to that, is that from round 6 onwards, when you're weight drained, which Conor Benn clearly is, he struggled to make this weight because of, him going up over the last couple of years. That takes its toll. Conor Benn will feel like he's walking through treacle, punching through treacle as the fight wears on.
I'm a bit worried. He needs to settle down a bit. He needs to settle down, because this is a high tempo he's set, and it's a bit ragged. It's a bit, there's no pace set. So he's got to be smart, unless he's thinking, I just want to get him out of there pretty quick and I'm going to throw everything in the first half of the fight. But I don't like the pace that he's set. I'm just worried to see if he can actually keep the pace.
Well, the second round's just about to be complete, and from the first 6 minutes that I've been watching there, gentlemen, and I want, again, your expertise on the technicalities of this. My understanding is, when an orthodox fighter, if you're the offensive orthodox fighter and you're fighting a southpaw fighter, the first battle is the feet, trying to get your feet on the outside of that lead foot, and then you can throw your shots down the centre. he's not winning that battle at the moment because Regis Prograis seems to be commanding that.
Yeah, Regis Prograis is the guy with the experience, and he's waiting for Conor to come on because he knows that Conor's that guy that's a little bit emotional, a little bit reckless, and that's exactly what Conor's doing here. Totally agree with Johnny. You go, Conor needs to settle down a little bit here because there is a very reckless approach. He's boxing like he's in round 12, 11 and 12, and he's behind on the scorecard.
This is the third round. Look at him there. His arms are on the ropes. Right, get your arms down, number one. He's breathing heavily. Okay, he might need to get that first gas out, stretch the lungs out. But and you watch Prograis when he walked back, it was calm, it was cool, it was relaxed, it was contained. Now he's in it for the long haul. Conor, the way he's fighting, I'm thinking, you need to, easy, boy. You've got to take your time.
He's rushing in a lot here, isn't it? It's a total contrast, Spence, to the Conor Benn that we saw in the second fight against Chris Eubank Jr., who was a lot more calm, a lot more collected, and was waiting for his opportunities that particular night. I
think because he was expecting the Chris Eubank Jr. that turned up in the first fight, where Conor Benn couldn't outmuscle him, he couldn't outman him, because Eubank actually beat him at his own game. And if you remember rightly, round 11, round 12, especially round 12, Chris Eubank Jr. put Conor under immense pressure and made Conor ask questions of himself. So Conor went in there a little bit sceptical and thought, right, I'm going to feel my way in, but then recognised that Chris Eubank Jr. was dead at the weight, totally gone, and a shell of his former self. But against Regis Prograis, who is naturally the smaller guy, we can see that the size difference is a lot, but Prograis is a decent fighter, never been stopped before, heavy-handed, will probably be naturally much stronger at this weight, Johnny, because he was talking about moving up anyway. This could turn out interesting if Conor doesn't settle down.
Is this better, Johnny? Just watching the first minute of this third round, is this slightly better? Because he does look like he's just calmed it a touch and he's using the jab a lot more.
Yes, he's using the jab. And Prograis is keeping it at a pace. He's 37 years old, so you've got to work at a pace that he can hold and he can contain. If he lets Conor take him out of his pace, then as a 37-year-old man, you are going to be gassed. So therefore, you've got the experience, you've got the wisdom, but you've not got the same youth, the snap and everything that you had when you was a younger man. So you've got to control the pace all the way through the fight. So Prograis looks more relaxed here, and the snap of Conor's jabs are catching him, but he's in it for the long haul. He's thinking, all right, I've just got to keep this up. It'll be like the hare and the tortoise. In two or three rounds' time, what I'm doing now will be more effective.
How does the extra weight that Regis is carrying into this fight, Spence, affect him as we get into the second half? Will it be a benefit to him?
I think that it's going to be beneficial to Regis Prograis. You know, I think that he was talking about moving up to 147 anyway. He's been at 140 for a while now. He's got older, so your body does outgrow that. It becomes harder to strip down the weight all the time. So he was talking about making that move up. So going up to 150 won't be a problem. He told me in the week that he comes down from 165, 170 to make the weight anyway. So he'll be naturally stronger at this weight. He said that he was talking to Terence Crawford about that, about going up in the weights and everything else. And Crawford was giving him that information that he needed to say, listen, this is where you'll be better because you'll be stronger. You'll maintain that in those later rounds. So it's going to be interesting to see if we get that far.
Johnny, that backhand that he's throwing Conor Benn, he might as well send an email first before he's trying to throw that down. He needs to set that up a lot better, doesn't he?
Timing's everything, and right now he's kind of throwing it with a bit of hope.
Yeah.
He's got to be smart with it. He's got to be cunning with it. But again, this is experience. That's how you get wisdom. He'll get smart with it, and he'll look back and think, right, what did I do wrong in this fight here? The things if I was him up to this point, control the pace that he sets, control the tempo, what he set, and just be more settled. He's a decent boxer, Conor, but I think he's a very emotional boxer as well.
And I'll tell you something, walking back to that corner then, I'll tell you who's gaining a lot from this, gaining a lot of confidence in growing into this one, is Regis Prograis. He walked back to the corner there. He walked back to the corner there and he's like, right, bang. The fight has now settled down. Conor's stopped throwing everything, including the kitchen sink at me, and now he's starting to get a little bit more readable. And I think that, Regis Prograis is sort of taken a lot of confidence out of that last round.
If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, the voices of Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me. We are currently in the middle of the watch-along with Conor Benn and Regis Prograis, which is taking place at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We are about to enter round number 4. You can watch along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as well. Coming a little later on, of course, we'll be calling you through Tyson Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov. As it stands right now, how have you boys got this scored?
I think Conor Benn's winning the rounds. I think he's done enough in those rounds. But Regis Prograis, like I said, is getting into them. So I think Conor Benn's won those first 3 rounds, but it's going to be interesting because there's a long way to go.
Agree with that, Johnny?
I totally agree. I think Conor has given it all, and maybe Regis is looking at this as a second half fight. He's thinking, I've got to give away the first half of the fight. This guy's naturally bigger, stronger, and let's see who's at the weight in the second half.
What does Conor have to do tonight, Spence, in order to create the buzz around an opportunity for a world title?
Do you know what? I was saying this. I think that he's in a lose-lose situation because he's boxing a guy that's considered well past his best at 37 and a couple of weight divisions below Conor Benn. He's never going to gain anything from, if he knocks Regis Prograis out, he's going to get stick for the opponent that they've chose. And if he wins, and if he wins, look, I think ultimately what Conor gains from this is he'll get his shot against Ryan Garcia at 147. I think that's what he gets from it, and this is just testing him at the lower weight at 150. But Johnny, you know you've had to make weight. You know how hard it is. Making 150 is all right, but making 147, 3 pounds in fluid doesn't sound like to a lot of people that may be listening to this from a fighter's perspective. Oh boy, it is difficult to lose that extra 3 pounds. I
remember when I was a cruiserweight and the weight used to be 13 stone 8, not 14 stone 4. And the last few times I had to make cruiserweight, it took me about an hour to get £2 off. £2, I'd be in a hot bath. Nothing had nudged. You don't understand when you've got nothing left to get out. And I can remember getting on the scales. I felt dizzy. And then
the water's coming from your brain.
Yeah, I felt dizzy. I'm like, well, why do I keep doing this? And it was the only time of year that I ever saw the weight. So when if you're struggling with weight, then you have a big issue. I know the weight's tight for Conor here, but I don't think, if I'm honest with you, I don't think it's all that tight. And if I'm playing devil's advocate for Conor here, I would go back and think, what would be good for me here? Now, Regis is an experienced boxer. I want to be able to outbox him, outsmart him, outbeat him up. If I don't knock him out, then I'd go back and say, you know what, you've shown your boxing IQ, you've shown your learning. It's not just a pushover, and he may need that kind of IQ if he goes on to box the Garcias and whoever. He may need that confidence. No, I can box. I've gone in there with someone that's smarter than me, might be older and slower than me, but I've shown him that I've been smart enough to outbox him.
The pattern of the contest, by the way, has changed. Regis Prograis is now on the front foot, and he's the guy pressing. He's the guy forcing the pace of this fight. So, interesting change here in round number 4.
We will be getting a little bit of insight very shortly from fans that are also consuming this fight on behalf of talkSPORT this evening. So make sure you stick with us on that. And if you want to have your say, you're more than welcome to come and join us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as we're about to conclude round number 4. I think we're all in unanimous agreement so far that Conor Benn has taken all these, but Regis Prograis is far from out of this particular fight. We'll be back in a minute on Fight Night Live.
Ethan and Wherry and Miles Lewis, Skelly this summer, and we're talking about maybe 100 million for the pair. That's too much, surely.
Well, no, I mean they're great prospects, aren't they?
100 mil for
Skelly's probably just he's not had a great time lately. He's just fell away from that first team a little bit. He's got a lot of people in front of him at the moment. And Capio, who's come in, he's done a really good job on that left hand side. You've got California as well. So I feel for him a little bit because you're a young player. You went through that little bit of stage where your form ain't great. A lot has happened in his career very quickly, Al. I mean, scoring a goal for England, playing for your country at a young age. So it might have just caught up with him a little bit, but he's just got to keep working hard and see where it takes him. Waineri's on loan at the moment, but he's a top player as well. A really, really
and you're really
great
happy
talent.
with young Max, aren't you?
Oh, Max he's doing different class. 16. People forget he's only 16. You know, it's amazing. He changed the game. He changed the game when he come on against Everton. You know, he looked like...
And was getting back and helping that.
Yeah, and he scored that first goal. As I said before, his family must be so proud to watch him, you know, has gone through the ranks and all that. And he's a really good, grounded young kid. So he's going to be a real prospect. Look, things can go wrong still, as in football. You know what it's like. Oh, you had a poor injury, didn't you, yourself?
Yeah.
Injuries...
You listen to talkSPORT. It is Fight Night Live. We're providing a little bit of alternate commentary of tonight's event that's taking place at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Tyson Fury returns to the ring against Arslanbek Makhmudov. Currently in the ring, Conor Benn and Regis Prograis are about a minute remaining of round number 5. Probably the most action that we've seen so far throughout round 5. I'll get the boys' thought processes on this round in a moment. But first and foremost, let's get out to the Redwood pub, shall we? Because our man Faraz has got a microphone in his hand. He's amongst it with all the fans. Faraz, how's it going down there, buddy?
Yeah, it's good down here, Adam. Like the Ben fight, it's heating up in here as well, picking up in Redwood. Seeing a bit of shadow boxing here and there as well, so I think people are getting a bit loose and looking forward to the return of the Gypsy King.
Listen, stay out of bother, mate. You know what it gets like in pubs like that, my friend. One of the interesting things that I just want to get a vibe on from a fan point of view is, are they behind Conor Benn tonight? Are they supporting him, or are they maybe against him because of recent narratives surrounding him coming into this?
You know what? It's a bit of a mixed bag. I've spoke to a few people, and a lot of people think Ben takes it, but I think they'll be happy to see if he lost, to be fair. A lot of people saying if Prograis was in his day, he'll easily take this fight, and to be honest, I agree. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I don't think people will be too happy if Ben takes it very easily.
Is there a few Fury fans knocking about, mate?
Oh, there's always Fury fans knocking about, isn't there? People bursting out in American Pie soon, I reckon. I'll be getting some impressions later, I reckon. So it should be good fun.
Right, well, I'll leave you to go and have a word with the people of the Redwood, mate. Make sure you get a good gang of people to come and join us for when Tyson Fury's doing his thing. And we're just getting a little bit of a glimpse of Tyson Fury on our big screens here, who's got tribute shorts on this evening to his friend Ricky Hatton, who sadly passed away last year. There is a tribute on the back. Well, it's on the band of the trunks, which says R.I.P. Ricky. It's in the famous blue shorts that Ricky used to wear, of course, supporting his famous Manchester City. Blue gloves as well for Tyson Fury tonight as he pays tribute to his mate Ricky Hatton. Round number 5, though, just completed. Spence, I actually thought Conor started that round very, very well.
Yeah, listen, Conor's winning the rounds for sure, but Prograis getting himself back into it. Remember, it's only a 10-round fight, but look, Conor's doing well. Prograis is still very up for it. Both guys starting to look a little bit marked up now, showing signs of wear and tear, both of them, in this one, because it has been a frantic pace, and Ben's winning the rounds.
Round number 6, just getting underway, as Spencer just pointed out. It is a 10-round fight. We'll keep you up to date with that. You just took a left on the way in there, did Conor Benn?
Yeah. He's got to be careful then, mate. That's that reckless approach that he's got. He's carrying it, and as the rounds are wearing on, the hands are dropping down more and more. Prograis now got the guy with his foot on the outside. He's coming over the top with his lead right hand, and he's getting through those left hands through the middle. Conor Benn, like I say, the pattern of the fight, Johnny, has changed. Conor Benn is now boxing on the outside. That approach seems to have left him.
And as we said at the start of the fight, round 6 we'll see a change in the tide if Prograis has the ability to do that. Round 5, Conor was getting Prograis with some decent right hand shots to the body, to the point where Prograis walked him, say, "Come on, what more have you got? Have you got any more of those?" So now Prograis, if he's got a game plan, say, "Oh, Conor's complaining about a clash of the heads," he's done this twice now. His concentration is being broke. I understand these things aren't nice, but you know when you're in a fight, you just got to get on with it. Let the referee deal with it. So that to me, you know, I can remember fighting, getting whacked in the middle stump. I wore two protectors. I thought, I'm not going to complain, but when my time comes, I'll get you back. Because they're trying to break your concentration. So Conor, I've seen him break concentration a couple of times there, but he's still using that long jab, that long stance. And Prograis, he's standing in the middle of the ring. He's actually not working as much. He's making Conor come to him and do the work. This is where Prograis needs to, if he has a game plan, start stepping up, start putting the pressure on, hoping that hope that Conor fades a little bit. But Conor still seems strong.
I wonder if there has been a couple of clashes ahead. Earlier on, we did see a little bit of claret in the dyed blonde hair of Conor Benn, and it looks like he's just dabbing away at his face a little bit there, doesn't he? So I wonder if there's a little bit of something trickling.
Well, there's blood on the left shoulder of Prograis. So whose blood is it?
It's Conor Benn's. He's cut badly over the left eye.
Yeah, it looks like that.
It's cut badly over the left eye. The referee took a close look at that as well, so that's going to bother him as well. Let's see how he holds his nerve there. Will he unravel? Will he get reckless? Will he do something stupid? Because Prograis a smart guy. He's got that experience. One false move at this level, and it's checkmate.
You listen to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me, calling you through these fights this evening. Like I said, Tyson Fury, Arslanbek, Makhmudov will be a little bit later on this evening, as we are just about to complete round number 6 of Conor Benn and Regis Prograis from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Here's a loaded question for you, Spencer. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Can Conor Benn win a world title at welterweight?
Can Conor Benn win a world title at welterweight? The answer is no. Can he win it at super welterweight? The answer is no, because of the people that dominate that division. Will he beat Ryan Garcia? I don't think he will. If he moves up, will he beat Boots Ennis? The answer is no. You know,
where's his best chance?
It's probably down at 147, but I don't think he can make the weight. Therefore, it's not his best chance. The easiest chance would be at 147 because Boots Ennis is the guy, and Virgil Ortiz is up there as well, another guy, the WBC interim champion. So it's a very tough division, but down at Lewis Crocker would be a good fight for Conor Benn. But would he beat Lewis Crocker? I'm not sure, because I'm not sure he can maintain the strength down at that weight. And I think that is starting to show in this fight, because he's slowed down a lot now. His face is getting bashed up. He's picked up 2 cuts now. He's got a cut over the left eye and the right eye. This is bad times for Conor Benn.
Both from head clashes. Johnny, you were just analysing that while Spence was speaking.
Yeah, so Conor's not nowhere near the finished article. He's got the publicity. He's got the attention of a fighter that's been a world champion. He's not even been a world champion, but he's got attention and eyes on him. So he's going to get critiqued all day up to that stage. He's nowhere near his finished. Being the finished product. So therefore, to ask if I win a world title, what I'm seeing now, this version of him, no. Is it within his capabilities? If he keeps growing, keeps developing, keeps getting better, yeah, I do believe it's possible. Who would I put him in with? I don't know, but right now, after this fight, I would sit down and say, right, what do you think you did wrong here from start to finish? Dissect it, fix it, move on. He adapts very well, Conor. You've always seen if you fight, each fight changes differently. He's improved step by step. Mm-hmm. He's in there with somebody that's got experience, even though he's not got the pace, even though he's not got the age. And the size. So timing is everything. You've got to get him with all shapes and sizes, and different parts of your arsenal needs to be tested. Now his brain, his discipline, and his pace needs to be tested to say, right, I'm not doing that again.
Just a little bit of an onslaught there for Conor. That's why we all just paused a touch.
Yeah, he was going to the body there.
It is going to be interesting to see what the next move is off that, because, listen, we're into the 7th round. There's been some tight rounds in the last couple, but I still think that Conor Benn's done enough to win these. It's got a little bit messy since from the early start, but he is winning this fight, and if he comes through and outboxes and wins this on points against Regis Prograis, it's a good solid victory on his ledger, as he's just starting to unleash a few in the 7th round. But you know full well that the noise is going to be get him in with Ryan Garcia or get him in with Rolly Romero. Do you think that's the wrong move next?
Well, I'm not sure that he can maintain the strength. If he can maintain the strength and get down to 147, then it's not the wrong move. I think that is the fight for him. It's a huge fight out there and a winnable fight for him. I wouldn't like to see him in with a Boots Ennis or a Virgil Ortiz, because I think they'd be too big and too strong at 154. But I'm just not sure Conor can make that 147. But, I mean, he's having a better round here in round 7. I've actually got this 4 rounds to 2 at the moment, but Conor's face is a mess, and that's because of the reckless approach. He's jumping in. There's no thought process behind what he's doing. All right, it's effective and he's winning, but we've got to remember this is an aging fighter that he's boxing as well. This is a fight he's meant to win. This is a fight he's meant to showcase what he's got. You know, this is a statement fight for him. And Johnny, at the moment, I'm not sure he's making that statement.
No, it's not. It's an entertaining fight. Yeah. I'll admit it's not boring. It's not flat. I actually think Conor's won every round, if I'm honest with you. But he's had to work for them. And but again, he's making a hard job of what should be a little easier for him at this stage, because as you say, this guy's 37 years old. He'd already considered retirement in his last fight. So Conor now has got to, get his act together and think, right, I've got to learn from this. I think it's all about learning. It's all about experience, and that's what he needs in this stage of his career. He's going to take our criticism. He's going to take the knocks. He's going to beat himself thinking, what did I do wrong? I'd love to hear his interview afterwards, because I'm quite sure he'll say the same thing. I started off too erratic. I didn't listen. My pace was too high. I should have took my time.
3 rounds left. What does Regis Prograis have to do? Because he's behind on the cards here.
Yeah, he's sort of got to go for it himself. He's got to beat fire with fire now. Prograis been holding his feet. He's letting Conor make all the mistakes, letting Conor jump onto him. And that's why the head clashes really have been Conor's fault, because of that reckless approach. But now Regis has got to meet fire with fire. He's got to take the gamble a little bit himself. He's got to go for it now, and that's pretty much where he's at.
I don't think he's got it. I don't think he's not got another gear. Because and that's what I'm saying. That's the way he's not got another gear. He produces cameos of success, and caught Conor with a straight backhand left, straight down the pipe, and Conor's saying, where's that come from? That's from experience. So the cameos of experience that he's got, that Conor hasn't got on him, unfortunately, he's not got the pace or the tempo or the gears to keep that up, at least for a minute and a half, 2 minutes around. Because if he does, he gives Conor hell.
Entering round number 8 at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Conor Benn, Regis Prograis. I think we're all in agreement here in the studio, and I'm sure people that are watching along with us are in agreement that Conor Benn is ahead with 2 rounds remaining. But we haven't had that statement moment as of yet, which I think a lot of people were expecting in this particular fight, given Regis Prograis, obviously a fighter, yes, a former world champion, but a world champion in the 140-pound division. This one up at a catch weight of 150, and Conor is adamant that he's on his way back down to 147, talking quite extensively about maybe getting himself a shot at either the WBC champion, which is Ryan Garcia, or the WBA champion, which is Rolly Ribeiro. As Spence was just pointing out a moment or two ago, Lewis Crocker's the IBF guy. You've also got Devin Haney, who is the WBO champion. You mentioned Lewis Crocker as a potential fight. I think from a British point of view, that would work, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that from a British point of view, of course it would work, but I think that Conor Benn's, he's looking for the bigger names, he's looking for the bigger fights. I think actually Lewis Crocker's the IBF champ, but Conor Benn's saying that actually commercially not a big enough name. And he's looking for other opportunities. I suppose if he boxes Lewis Crocker, let's say he gets £1 million. If he boxes Ryan Garcia, he probably gets another 15 million quid. So look, from a business point of view, of course Garcia would be the guy that you want to box. And this is a great yardstick for Conor Benn, this fight at 150, to see if he can get himself back down, see if the strength will maintain there. He's doing well here in round 8, to be fair. He's kept the work rate up. If anything, since slowing down just a little bit, I think he's looked a little bit better.
Yeah, that's an interesting line at ringside, isn't it? You've got Eddie Hearn, Eubank Jr. sat on Eddie Hearn's left shoulder with a little smirk on his face, playing on his phone. And so I'm like, wow, I bet you could cut the atmosphere with a knife right there. Eddie, you're not talking, Eddie, you know what we saw. Back to the fight, I think Conor's pace, yes, it has slowed down a little, more flat-footed. He's letting the shots go. He's getting the heads are clashing constantly, but now he's having to settle down to what he I think he does best. He can have a tear up, he can have a ding dong, and I think we're in the 8th round. We've got 45 seconds left, so he set a pace that I thought he wouldn't be able to keep consistent. Letting the back foot off when he lets that right hand go. Yeah. He needs to keep it planted down, keep the power in it. If you're going to pick your left foot up when your right foot up when you let the shot go, you're going to lose the power.
Yeah, I think that his pace has slowed Conor Benn, but Regis Prograis' pace has slowed even more. I think that is age, wear and tear, and he's sort of like just in there now. Looks like he's just surviving, looking a bit bashed up as well. Conor doing a good job of switching those attacks to the body, but better work this from Conor Benn in the 8th round.
We are coming to the end of the 8th round from the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Conor Benn, I tell you what, he does look like he loads up with every single shot that he throws, doesn't he?
Would do you remember the old man? He used to do exactly the same. Even the jab, he throws everything. They're emotional guys. They fight with their hearts on their sleeve. The emotions, they fight with those emotions. Sometimes, Johnny, that can be a good thing, and other times it can be the undoing of a fighter.
Some fighters need that. They need to fight on emotion, otherwise you can't get the best out of them.
Well, round 8's completed. You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. All your favourite games, all in one place. You've got to be over 18. Gambleaware.org. We'll be back for the conclusion of this co-main event next.
Pep Guardiola has been speaking today about his team's tendency to finish season strongly.
Hopefully we can do a lot of points. That's the situation that we are in the Premier League, so we need to do all of them. Otherwise we will not give us a chance to try it until the end. So we need to do a lot of points. We were not consistent enough during the season. We dropped points that we should take it, and that's why we're in the position that now we cannot do it differently.
He also talked a little bit about on whether he feels more excited at this time of the year. No, he says, I have a lot of yellow cards. That means how excited I am. Not just for April, but during the season, I have had a good energy, and I still have good energy. You get the feeling that he thinks that there's still a chance that they can catch them.
I think they're probably going to have to win every game to do it. We were just working it out there on Gabby's crib sheet. They've got 8 games left. They're on 61 points. So if they win every game, they get to 85. That would mean that Arsenal on 70 need 5 wins from their last 7 games. If they win every game, Manchester City, they've got a squeak, especially as they play Arsenal. But they have no margin for error. And I actually...
You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me, calling you through the action from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium tonight. We are just about to complete round number 9 of Conor Benn and Regis Prograis. We'll be back with you for round number 10 in a month. But first and foremost, let's get to Augusta, shall we, for a little bit of an update of the Masters from Sean O'Brien. What's going on, mate?
Yeah, Rory McIlroy leads by 3. He's 7 holes into this third round. Remember, he started with a 6-shot lead. That's been cut in half, and he's hanging on a little bit here with some ropey golf, and they're all coming for him. Shane Lowry's made a hole-in-one. He's just 3 shots back. What a pairing that would be tomorrow. And Cam Young and Hao Tong Lee are also within 3. A couple of Englishmen, Justin Rose still in this at 7 under, but Tommy Fleetwood's falling down the leaderboard. He's 8 back and really needs to get moving. So Rory does as well. You can't stand still on moving day at Augusta, but he leads by 3, and there's a live blog over on talksport.com.
The Masters on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan.
Thank you very much, Sean. We'll keep you up to date with everything that's going on in Augusta. Round number 9 has just finished. It is a 10-round fight at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. What are you making of it, Spence?
Yeah, Conor Benn sort of taken over now. Regis Prograis is using all his experience. The legs are gone, by the way. He's just buckled a couple of times there. See, the legs are totally gone. And we just see Turkey Al-Sheikh in the dressing room there with Frank Warren. And he's holding up, is that a Man U shirt?
He's holding up a Manchester United shirt. Frank Warren is obviously an Arsenal fan. Arsenal was beaten a little earlier on today. But Turkey Al-Sheikh with Tyson Fury holding up a Man United shirt. Tyson Fury is a Manchester United fan. And they seem to be in good spirits. I mean, we've been told there's altercations here, there and everywhere in that camp. Not with Tyson Fury, I'm talking about between promoters. But they seem like they were all pally-pally then.
They seem
Turkey.
absolutely fine. Turkey's the guy, though, isn't he? He's got everybody there. Everybody, you know what boxing is like. But Turkey just brings them all in the same room, makes them sit next to each
Money
other.
talks, baby. Money talks.
Focuses the mind, my friend.
Absolutely. But let me go back to Regis Prograis, who looked using all his experience at the end of round number 9. He was all that kidology, calling Conor Benn in, telling him he's gone, but his legs were buckling a couple of times. He's just fallen to the floor there as well. He's not got a lot left here, Regis Prograis. He's fighting on pride, emotion. He's just keeping him in there. But one big onslaught, Johnny, you would suspect that he might unravel,
Yes, yeah, without a doubt. As you say, you've seen a worn-out fight that has the experience, and Conor's the one that's got to learn everything he can off this, because he's going to be in for bigger challenges up ahead. And I think it's been a good fight for him. It's been a good little test for him. It's been a good experience for him to say, right, what do I need to work on? So it's pluses for me. I think I prefer this than Conor actually getting a knockout. And what would he have learned from it? Well, he would have learned so much. He's got the power, but still he's had to settle down and think, right, what can he improve on here?
Yeah, I think he's at that stage of his career where he is learning. Like, forget Prograis and where he's at, weight, his box, all that sort of stuff. It's been a tough fight for him. He's had to show a little bit of character in there. He's taken a few shots, just took a big left hand there as well. But yeah, he'll learn from this. He'll go back to the drawing board, and he'll have to step it up. If he wants to win a world title down at 147 or even 154, he's got to perform better than this. But this is the apprenticeship, Johnny, the development that you need before stepping up to fights like that.
Yeah, can you imagine getting paid 15 million?
I was just about to move us onto that subject. Where's Conor's head at now? If he's going and stepping up in levels against Ryan Garcia or whoever it may be for a world title next, he's just been paid 15 million quid for this fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. It's absolutely
He ain't
nuts.
coming back down the earnings.
No, he will. Conor, as far as he's concerned, he's thinking, where on earth will I ever get 15 million? So if I'm a £50 million fighter, $50 million fighter, then I'll win and keep winning, and then I can start to command that. But even when he's at the top of his tree, what on earth is he outside the heavyweight division going to earn 15 million? I don't blame him one bit.
Listen, let me throw this question at you, Johnny. Now that, say, Conor Benn's been in with Regis Prograis, he recognises where Prograis at in his career. Yeah. He's had a tough fight with him. He goes away, he comes out of the dressing room, wakes up tomorrow and says, you know what? Am I good enough for world level? Will I be good enough for world level? Where does he find the motivation? Now he's got $15 million in the bank. He might recognise that ain't the right move now going for a world title because I'm not good enough. Where do you go from there?
It's that fighting spirit. It's the Ben gene, isn't it? It's the Ben bloodline. That's within him. Listen, I'm quite sure Conor, after the first or the second Eubank fight, he could have walked away. Yeah. But that's the difference between certain fighters. When you get enough money to live off for the rest of life and still fight with the same hunger, get up at stupid o'clock in the morning to still go on the road, that's what I'm talking. That's what I like. It's a fight that can get complacent when they've got all the don't think, I've done it now, I've settled. He's still looks like a hungry fighter. Fight's over. I think, in my opinion, this will be a unanimous points win to Conor. I'll probably gave 1, maybe 2 rounds to Regis.
Yeah.
The fight probably set on fire a lot more, got a bit harder for Conor to steer the rounds from the 6th round onwards. But you know what? 15 mil, well done, son.
Yeah, he's shown a lot of character in there, to be fair to him. I think that they're the fights that you need before stepping up to those bigger fights. And you're right in what you say. He's the first kid in the gym and the last one to leave it. He does live it, eat, sleep it. It's not about the money. I think the money's there, isn't it? But it's about the dream. He wants to, come out of his old man's shoes. He wants to win a world title in his own right. That was a good performance.
We're going to come back to the Conor Benn, Regis Prograis fight. We'll obviously debrief and get stuck into all the aftermath. We'll get you an official score on that as well. We think that Conor Benn's won that quite wide, but the official scores will come in very, very shortly. In the meantime, let's have a chat to somebody who had a fight a little earlier on and looked incredible at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I am pleased to say that Richard Riakporhe is joining us on the line right now. Richard, welcome back to the show, mate. How are you?
Very good. How you doing?
Very well indeed. Not as good as you, mate, when you're landing right hands like that, pal, and getting an early night. That must have felt good doing that in front of the stadium.
Yeah, definitely, because we got the result, and that was the most important thing. We had a game plan. We're just trying to execute as the rounds were going on. But yeah, we're happy we've done our job and entertained everybody. It sounds like it. So I'm happy.
Richard, Johnny Nelson here. I must admit, that jump to heavyweight has made all the difference in your snap, you using that right hand, you letting those shots go, and that frustration we used to see before. I think heavyweight is your destiny. Well done. That right hand was on fire. Do you now know? You know what? That was the thing that was holding me back at a cruiserweight.
Yeah, I didn't have the energy levels, man, to compete at that weight properly. but I just knew I had the power. So sometimes I'll just conserve myself and just wait for the perfect opportunity. But sometimes boxing doesn't go like that. You can't be perfect all the time. Can't be a perfect, clean, highlight reel shot. Sometimes you have to work and make the opportunity. But now, a heavyweight, I got more energy. I got that snap. I'm focused. I'm more focused. I'm more on point. And that's why you're seeing better performances now.
Yeah, listen, it was a great performance, mate. I think you sort of dominated from the opening bell. You know, you silenced the doubters that said that there was that negative side to you, and I recognise it because of making cruiserweight and what it does psychologically to a fighter. I want to ask you about what you said after the fight, mate, when you was talking about the winner of Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois. You'd like that fight, and then you went from there to Johnny Fisher. And that's when we all nearly fell off our chairs and thought, how's he gone from there to Johnny Fisher? Talk us through that, mate.
You know why? Because the reality is, I've got the British title. And I like Fisher. I actually like them. I like the family and stuff like that. And I seen them in fact, I was at the press conference and I looked out in the crowd and I see Johnny Fisher there. I was like, yeah, he's probably trying to get a fight. So I was like, okay, maybe I don't know if they want to do it, but we'll see. But I've given them the opportunity. But it's, like I said, it's not something that I'm pursuing, like that. But I just threw his name out there. Anyway.
Listen, Rich, the first call out was bang on. That's obviously when you've picked up a Lonsdale belt. I'm sure you might have a thought process of defending it a few times, so therefore you can win it outright. But when you're in the position that you're in right now and looking the way that you're looking, calling out the top boys in the division, even if that's not going to be the next fight, is absolutely the trajectory that you want to be on. Will you be in attendance in a few weeks' time in May?
Yeah, hopefully. I'm going to check my schedule and get down there, man. I definitely want to be down there and watch it. I want to watch it ringside. But yeah, like I said, at the cruiserweight, I'm still angry because I wasn't able to get that world title. And I believe that my day is coming. Some people probably see me now and be like, yeah, Richard, he did his thing and stuff like that. But in my mind and the way I feel, I'm still angry because I know I know I'm better than a lot of these guys. Forget about the power and stuff like that. But I know what I'm doing. I've got the experience now.
Does Bridgerweight interest you at all, Richard?
Bridgerweight? No. I want a heavyweight. I like heavyweight.
Richard,
is different. People don't respect that title.
Richard, I've got to say, mate, we are seeing a changing of the guard in the heavyweight division right now, with the younger fighters like Moses Atama and whatnot coming through, the older guys, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, and Oleksandr Usyk, all coming to the end of their careers, twilight of their careers. You, on that performance, did make a little bit of a statement. You've thrown your name in the mix there, mate.
I need that world title, man. I don't think I can leave this game alone until I've got that title, because that's my mission in life. That's my mission, and I need to get the world title.
Well, the pathway in all realism here, Richard. Right, realistically, the chances of getting the winner of Wardley and Dubois might not be next for you, but the chances of getting the person that doesn't win that fight could be very, very realistic, which means then you're only 2 steps away from fighting for the world title. Because I would imagine that the winner in May would want to try and fight Oleksandr Usyk to try and unify. And you can't begrudge them that in order to try and do that. But if you are then in a position to fight the person that doesn't win that fight and pick up a victory there, then the narrative is then set for you to be fighting later on this year or maybe at the start of 2027 for that world title.
Yeah, and that's definitely another opportunity. 100%, I'll definitely grab that with both hands. But I just want everybody to know that I'm very serious about making this the best year ever. You know what I mean? And that's just the beginning. You see, today, that was just the beginning. I'm telling you, I'm on it. And I'm looking to really establish myself out here.
We can see, mate, and you're looking good at heavyweight. Just one thing that I'm a little bit unsure of, though, is that dancing with Billy Nelson. You're going to have to talk me through that. What was that celebration at the end?
That's the Scottish dance. Too long in Glasgow.
I've no doubt that will feature in the celebrations later on this evening, mate. Listen, all the best to you. Congratulations on a fantastic victory, and we look forward to seeing you back out there soon. Take care, mate. Top man, Richard Riakporhe there, who got a fantastic victory a little earlier on against Jamie Takashiva to become the British heavyweight champion. And like you say, it's never a straight road. in the world of boxing. He looked fantastic at cruiserweight up until running into Chris Billam-Smith, and then it just didn't pop on that night at Selhurst Park for him. But since moving to heavyweight, he's looked good.
I understand why it didn't pop, and that's the reasons I was talking about. When your weight drains, you feel those shots like, you lose the fluid in and around the brain. The jab starts feeling like a right hand. The hooks feel like you're getting hit with sledgehammers. That is the reality of it, and that affects your performance. Don't want to step in with your shots. You become a little bit negative, and we saw all of that with Richard Riakporhe in the later days of his cruiserweights and when he boxed for that world title. Since moving up to heavyweight, we see him committing with his shots. There's a newfound confidence in his work, a confidence that people said that he didn't have down at cruiserweight, and that's the reasons for it. I just think he feels bigger, stronger, and I think Johnny He's a brilliant addition to the heavyweight scene right now, but a danger to the heavyweight scene as well.
He looks like a healthy heavyweight.
Yeah.
So it's very few fighters that jump up to the heavier weight and he looks solid at the weight. He looks like from round one, he was bullying the natural heavyweight.
Yeah.
With the jabs, with the pace, being the offensive fighter. At no point do you think he was the one that used to be a cruiserweight that he's struggling. So therefore, he's found his new home, his new environment. For him, I just thought in the first 2 rounds, he kept throwing a big right hand. I thought, where's that come from? And I mean, it was thrown with intention, not reaction. So then slowly but surely, when that finishing shot landed, that shot that started to break TKV down, I thought this kid's found his home. He's where he belongs. He's a heavyweight through and through. And so now you've got to think, as the other heavyweights out there, even domestically, there are some good fights there for him, but there are some good testing, good learning fights. So there's still a long way to go, but I'm happy for him to put his name on the list of being a British champion.
There you go. Richard Riakporhe a little earlier on getting the job done at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I can tell you that it was a unanimous decision for Conor Benn, 98-92 on all 3 judges' scorecards. We are going to pick the bones out of that next year on Fight Night.
I mean, who's left there now? Only Alisson, Van Dijk. I think that's probably it, isn't it?
Just on Andy Robertson, do you think he'll stay in the Premier League?
I think he can.
Yeah.
I think he can. I think there are.
I'd have him at Tottenham. I wish we got him.
Well, you were linked with him in January, weren't you?
Yeah.
And the writing was. It's not the biggest surprise in the world, is it? That he's leaving.
No, it's not a surprise.
What happened in January?
It made us think about left backs, right?
Yeah.
You think about the great left backs of the Premier League, and where does he rank?
So when I was outside with Ryan, the producer, and then Ryan said there was a period where he was the best left back in the world, and I went, "What? What you on about? Best left back in the world?" And he said he's best in the top 3 of the Premier League. And I'm like, I'm not sure he is. And then you look at the names that you think, you know what? Actually, maybe he is in this conversation.
I think he is. Look, Ashley Cole for me, obviously, yes, he's the greatest.
He's out on his own.
He's out on his own. And then after that, you look at the other left backs. They're at Patrice Evra.
In terms of numbers, let me just tell you now, Andy Robertson's Premier League appearances, 373. 13 goals, 69 assists. Now, that is insane for a fullback. Trent's numbers aren't dissimilar from what I can gather.
Yeah.
I haven't got them, but just looking at left backs here. He outstrips, John Arisa has 30.
It's Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me. It's all in association with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. You've got to be over 18. Gambleaware.org. Arslanbek Makhmudov is making his way to the ring at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're going to be watching along that particular fight, and you can join us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel go and get yourself stuck in. A few people getting stuck in at the Redwood with our mate Faraz, having a whale of a time. Faraz, who are you with, mate?
So I've got Tom with me here. Tom enjoyed the Conor Benn fight. What did you make of it?
Well, I thought Conor Benn took the rounds. But I thought he looked good. Like, he got the point, so that's the main thing, right?
Who do you reckon next for him?
I think that's up to Dana White. He's got the money, that's the thing.
We've got the return of the Gypsy King here. What do you reckon for this fight, Fury Makhmudov? What's your prediction, Tom?
I think Fury should have stayed retired, but I do reckon he'll do it on points as well.
But we love to see Fury in the game, don't we? And you know why we love to see him? We love a bit of a sing-song, don't we? And
my Miss American Pie. That's all I know.
Or AJ?
AJ.
That's us here. Me and Tom, Big Smoke. Get on.
Faraz in the Redwood. Apologies if you a little bit of fruity language just kicked off there. They're in a boozer. They're having a good time. They're enjoying themselves and obviously turning it into a bit of a karaoke contest. Arslanbek Makhmudov has made his way to the ring at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The stadium itself is now lit up in bright blue as a bit of a tribute to Ricky Hatton. His name and his face at the moment is just emblazoned on the big screens at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as Tyson Fury is about to make his ring walk dressed in a tribute outfit, tribute robes, tribute trunks, tribute shoes as well to his mate Ricky Hatton, who sadly passed away last year. And do you know something? What a lovely touch. And I know that obviously this is a big night for Tyson Fury coming back, and we're all asking questions as to what has he got left. But just to take a little bit of a moment and to pay tribute to his good pal and icon of British boxing is a classy touch.
It's a beautiful moment. I can't actually believe what I'm seeing here, because I knew that he had the boots made and I thought that was going to be the touch. I didn't know he had the shorts or the gown. He's come out in full Ricky Hatton style here as Tyson Fury. It's a beautiful touch. The whole stadium is lit up blue, Ricky Hatton all around it. You just like, yeah.
I'm being told that he's coming out. We obviously don't have the sound. He's coming out to Blue Moon as well.
Yeah,
so it's the full hit tonight.
It highlights and makes people think about the mental health of not just boxers, of everybody to keep these things in mind. So people think, you know what, just to keep at the forefront. So people think everybody needs somebody at some point in their life, and this is just a nice subtle reminder. Just not forget those things. They're more important things in life.
No, absolutely. Tyson Fury just stood at the top of the ramp there, making his way to the ring, where, in fact, I think it was here the last time that he actually fought on British soil, because his last last three actually have been away in Saudi Arabia, haven't they? The one against Ngannou and the two against Usyk were away from home. Last time out was obviously against Derek Chisora at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Was it December?
2022.
There you go. Long time ago. So it's a long time since the British fight fans have seen him. And there you go. The fireworks go off as he steps up onto the podium at the top of the ramp, as he's making his way now to the ring at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Looks full. I'll tell you what, there's a few camera phones knocking about in there, isn't there? Everybody seems to be capturing the moment of Tyson Fury. What do you need to see from him tonight, Spence?
Well, we just need to see that the legs are still there from Tyson Fury. You know, the training camp's gone apparently very, very well. He's come in a career or second lightest he's ever been in his career, 19 stone, 1 pound, which is very impressive. Tells you that he's been working really, really hard. All we need to see is that the legs are still there. If the legs are still there, he wins this fight and he wins it easily and puts his name back in the mix. And that's what we want to see, don't we? We've enjoyed the last decade or so of Tyson Fury, and we've seen this week, guys, as well, you know, Tyson Fury, you knew he was in town, the press conference and the weigh-in, all about Tyson Fury. And I think that he's good for the sport, you know, whether you love him or you hate him. He's a big, big character. He's been fun all week. He's in a good place mentally, which is great. And let's just hope that the legs are still there as well, because Johnny's 16 months out of the ring at this stage of his career, 37 years of age. We know he's not always lived the best of lives outside of boxing. You know, that mental health breakdown that he went through and the way that he had to get himself back, that catches up with you at some point, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. One thing, what I want to see is I want to remember, why is he here? Why has he come back? What's the intention? Remember when you've been at the top of the tree?
What do you think that is, Johnny?
I hope it's to be the best again. So that's up for debate. Can he be the best? So I want him to. If he's come back, he's thinking, I want to be champion of the world again. So right now, what I want to see is he capable of doing that, regardless of what he thinks we think. So this performance will tell me whether or not he can ever be a world champion again. This performance will tell me if he's in it, come back for the right reasons or the wrong reasons. This performance will tell me is he come back because he's bored and frustrated and he didn't know what else to do. And it'll tell us whether his family, his friends, his father are right that he should pack in, or carry on fighting.
How hard is it to walk away, though?
Very, very hard. No matter who you think you are, it takes you at least about 5 years to get out of your system, because we now, Spencer and myself, we still think we can fight like we did when we was 29 years old. That's not the case. It's very hard. So I know when I finished boxing, even though it was my decision to say I'm done, I had to stay out of the gym for a lot, proper start gym for about 5 years out of the boxing gym, because I found at times I'd go back, I'd be sparring, I'd be hitting the bags, I'd be hitting the pants, thinking I'm all right here. You know what? One more, I could do him. And this is what was going on in my head. You've got to get rid of the bug, because if you keep staying in the same environment, you still think you're one of the lads. You still think, I can still do it. Spenny is still doing it now. Look how his career ended. He's still doing it now. That's how addictive our sport is.
Yeah, do you know what? It's interesting because this modern generation of heavyweights, Deontay Wilder, can't give up. You know, and Anthony Joshua doesn't want to give up. You know, Tyson Fury doesn't want to give up. Derek Chisora, classic example. Spoke to Derek the other day. He said, you know what, he's retired. I think that was the shortest retirement in history. So I don't think he's going to come back. I think it was less than 24 hours. He's like, maybe one more. And he had a T-shirt on today. Did anyone see that T-shirt?
Yeah, I saw it.
I can't repeat what it said on there, but retirement is for whatever.
Not for him.
No, not for him. There you go. That's right. But yeah, it's very difficult. I think Tyson Fury's suffering with bipolar. Life without boxing for Tyson Fury is very, very difficult. And that's why he's testing himself. And Makhmudov is a great opponent to test himself against.
Well, we're going to find out a lot about him in a moment. The announcements are currently going underway at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. So as they're going on, we'll take a break and then we'll get stuck into the action. Don't go anywhere.
Morgan Rogers does seem to be doing it week in, week out, largely. 24 goals and 23 assists to his name since the start of last season. And he is expected to be at the centre of a £80 million transfer tug-of-war this summer. Why has this chatter started now? And
just 80?
I think they want a bit more than that. I was doing some inquiries this morning to see if he's got a release clause in his contract. Doesn't sound like he does. And I think Aston Villa are within their rights to ask for Jack Grealish type money for Morgan Rogers. And I think somebody will pay it. I think he is capable of going on to one of the top clubs in the country. But as Gabs has said, ideally Villa will want to keep him, but we know they're under financial pressure. More to do, I think, with the UEFA financial regulations than the Premier League ones, but it may be that they have to cash in, particularly if they don't make the
It would upset the manager.
June the 30th as well.
It would upset the manager because he's like his son. He's his favourite player. He plays every game. He's the last one to come off. He loves Morgan Rogers. You know, he brought him for £12 million from Middlesbrough.
You listen to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. You've got to be over 18. Gambleaware.org. I'm Adam Catterall. Spencer Oliver is alongside me, as is Johnny Nelson. We are seeing the silhouette and the dark shadow of Arslanbek Makhmudov fully draped up. He's gone full traitors there with the kit, hasn't he? You know what I mean? He's got the old Grim Reaper gear on.
He looks like a cartoon villain, doesn't he?
He does a bit, yeah.
I think he looks like a real villain. We wouldn't like to meet him, would you? Imagine meeting him. You're walking home from the pub and you bump into him and down a back alley or something. You just go like, it's about the worst person in the world you could meet, isn't it?
Yeah, here you are, son.
And he's got that like sort of little twitch as well, doesn't he?
He's the type of lad that you're trying to get into your local Wetherspoons and he says, not tonight, lad.
Yeah.
Not tonight. You just agree.
Yeah, you just turn around and walk off.
All right, mate. I'm all right, mate.
Don't matter how drunk you are, how brave you're feeling. You see him and you swallow it on the spot, don't you?
Absolutely.
I wonder where Tyson's dad is right now. I'm watching him there and watching the corner, and you know what? And they've done the job. He's out of the way. But I wonder where he is right now. I wonder if he's watching the fight.
I'm sure, listen, it's his lad fighting. I'm sure he will be paying some type of attention to this. He doesn't obviously have to be in the stadium for it. I'm sure he'll be checking it out at home. It's his lad at the end of the day, isn't it? Regarding the training camp, obviously he spent a lot of time out in Thailand getting fit. He does actually look in decent enough Tyson Fury type shape. I'm talking Tyson Fury shape. Johnny, I'm not comparing him to you, mate, when you were at your peak.
You know what? His arms there, it's just that midsection is just a bit. It's just a bit.
He's carrying an extra tire.
Yeah. I'm like, what have you been doing? Because I know he's been training hard in Thailand. So fitness, I don't expect it to be a problem. Fitness is on it. But I just want to see what his legs are like. I want to see what his legs are like when he's going back, when he's going to, this big fella pushing him back. If Tyson, the fighter he was, Tyson should be able to outbox this fella, and this fella will walk onto his shot. But if he's not and he struggles here, then he needs to have a serious word with himself. Off he go.
Well, the seconds are out. The only man that stands between them is referee Mark Bates. He's about to call this fight on. It's about to get underway from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. You can watch along with us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel as we get stuck into Tyson Fury's comeback for the fifth time against Arslanbek Makhmudov. Regarding Makhmudov, Spence, obviously we've seen him up close and personal recently against Dave Allen. What does he need to do tonight, especially in these early stages of this fight?
Pull it on Fury. Just put it on him. He just done that there, by the way, and just missed narrowly with a right hand. 19 of his 21 fights have come inside the distance. 17 of those have come inside 3 rounds. Makhmudov is a live opponent, a dangerous opponent that has been active. Like you say, Sheffield Arena, he beat Dave Allen. All right, we're talking levels here to the game, but we don't know what level Tyson Fury is right now. And I tell you what, John, he nearly got clipped with a right hand very, very early there.
I saw his knees dipped. I thought, have I just seen something there? Yeah. I don't know if it was a misfooting or what, but Makhmudov, you keep doing this, son. Keep him on the back foot. Tyson's got to figure out what's in front of him. Keep him under pressure. Keep doing what you're doing. Remember, 13 of his knockout wins have been in the first 3 rounds. Mm-hmm. 13. No, sorry, in the first round.
Yeah, 17 of them in the first 3. Oh, and he's put it on Tyson there. I'll tell you what, he hit him with a little left hook. I told you this is not an easy assessment for Tyson Fury, this one. Makhmudov is that guy for 2 or 3 rounds, is dangerous. Fury has to keep switched on here.
But the old Fury takes care of this because he's... Listen, look at the... I don't know where he is. We're going to find out this evening, aren't we? From a Makhmudov point of view, he is very rugged in what he does. His feet aren't the greatest. His entries are not the greatest. He's coming in straight lines and he's winging away, isn't he?
Absolutely, but Father Time waits for no one. And like when you see Johnny, you can see the shots coming, but you don't get out of the way of them. And that's what the worry is for Tyson Fury, because he's not that guy that's always kept himself in shape in between fights and whatnot.
I'd actually like to retract my statement earlier on about Tyson Fury and his shape, saying that I thought that he was indecent, Nick. I've just actually seen the full hit of Tyson Fury now. He's carrying a little bit of holiday weight there, isn't he?
I've got to tell you, mate, you have just saved the comments there, baby, because that was going to be horrendous.
I needed to.
Catman,
mate.
Pulled yourself out of a hole there.
Listen, head looks good, shoulders and arms look good, legs look good, right? That's the only bit I was looking at, and then all of a sudden the robe came off and I went, ooh, maybe I've just gone a little bit too early on that.
Oh, big right hand there from Makhmudov again. Like you say, he's like, he's crude, man. He's like very limited.
That's the right word. That's the right word, crude.
Crude. He's very crude, limited. Feet cross over. But Johnny, this geezer can whack. He wrestles bears, man. He holds his own with bears.
Tyson needs to subdue smother whatever Makhmudov's doing. For the first 2 or 3, he's got to smother him. He's got to make him slow down. And Tyson, he'll complain. He's blinking a little bit. He's thinking, I've got to calm this guy down. Just steady him down for the first 3 rounds, and then I start to get away with what I want to get away with.
Fury's marked up under the right eye already. That's what he was dabbing away at.
Fury started this one as orthodox. We've seen him start fights as southpaw. We've seen him switch it up. He didn't only until the last 10 seconds there did we see a little glimpse of the old Tyson Fury with a couple of feints and a little bit of footwork and what have you, but I think it was a little bit too...
Who would you give the first round to?
I'd give it to Makhmudov, yeah.
I don't think Tyson Fury... I think he landed one right hand, really, in that round. I think Makhmudov, obviously, I know it was crude. I don't think it was very clean. I don't even think it was massively effective, but I think he was the one that did the work.
I totally agree with that. He landed a couple of right hands. He was getting through with the left hook as well. Fury didn't find his range. He was not committing with the jab. I think that he found it difficult to find the distance with that jab. He's picked up a mark under the right eye already. Just looking at the slow-mos on the back there, that was the first right hand that went in. Little reminder there for Fury. Went to grab hold straight away as well. But a little reminder there, John, it's for Fury to get his hands up.
So Tyson's got to stamp his authority, and when Makhmudov comes onto him, hold you around, but try and hold him off with a shot rather than grabbing him, rather than backing him off, because you can keep letting this guy push you back. You know, you're gonna one, lose the rounds, and number 2, you know, you're not setting yourself up to get him with a counter when he walks in.
Makhmudov just starts with a big right hand. Left hook landed there as well.
We're in the, round 2's just got underway. I'm just having a little bit of a look at Tyson there. He actually, his feet switched quite nicely there from orthodox into southpaw, but this is what he needs to get that work off, doesn't he?
There you go.
He can't keep going back.
Punch him off. Don't hold him off. Punch him off. Let him walk onto the shots. If you're punching him off, he'll walk into a shot. He'll probably get knocked out by an uppercut. But if he lets Makhmudov push him back, so he has to grab, as he's trying to grab, he's going to get caught with the right hand over the top.
If you're Makhmudov here, Spencer, I mean, this is your lottery ticket, isn't it? You've
Yeah.
got an opportunity to fight Tyson Fury, former world champion. If you nail him, the world's your oyster.
Absolutely. And this game's all about opportunity. And Makhmudov has said that all week. He said, this is a gift from God. God has led me to this place and I'm going to take it. And I'll tell you what, second round, and he's doing well here as well. This is not the start we wanted to see from Tyson Fury. You know, the questions we needed answering. Well, he spent a lot of time on the ropes and he's taken a lot of right hands as well. Makhmudov will be very pleased with himself, you know, going into this second round.
Makhmudov is crude, he's slow, he's predictable. This is a fight for Tyson to figure that jigsaw puzzle out, to think, right, how do I get rid of this uncouth fighter that's in front of me? Because boxing IQ, there is none from him. He's just putting it forward, trying to put the pressure on.
Minute and a half gone of round number 2. It's an interesting start. Tyson's started to just find a little bit of rhythm and a little bit of range, but Makhmudov, he is, like you just say, it's an interesting watch with Makhmudov because he doesn't really do anything that's beautiful on the eye. He's just very wingy, very crude.
He's looking for a mistake. He's waiting for Tyson to switch off, make a mistake. And that's the only way he gets Tyson. If Tyson makes a mistake, drops his guard, thinks he's out of range, Makhmudov throws a right hand over the top, a left hook or something. He's just hoping out of everything he throws, one of them will land. There's no method to the madness. He's just thinking, I've just got to let these shots go.
Yeah, let's be totally honest. Makhmudov is very one-dimensional, isn't he? He's very he's coming forward. He's looking for that right hand. Tyson should be dealing with him. And
this is better from Tyson.
Yeah, he's finding his range now. He's found that jab. He's moving now. He's settled down just a little bit. It was a disastrous first round, and the second round at the start was not much better, but he's starting to turn things around now.
He's getting his feet going now, and therefore he's starting to command the geography of... I don't know what maybe he thought in that first round, that he was going to feel his way into the fight and Makhmudov was going to feel his way into it. But Tyson seems to getting into some type of rhythm now.
Yeah, he is. He's found a range with that jab. He's controlling the pace, controlling the space a lot better there. And he needed to do that because it was a little shock, the opening of that first round and towards the beginning of the second round as well. But much better from Johnny. Much better from Tyson, Johnny, at the end of the second round there.
Yeah, Makhmudov was shaking his head as he went to sit down in the corner. I don't know if he's been hit in the ear, which would affect your equilibrium, but he was shaking his head. He did it about 30 seconds from the end of that round as well.
I think that's the tick, mate. Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's what he does. He's got this like nervous sort of tick that he keeps going, and I think when the fight starts getting harder, he does it more and more as the fight goes on. We saw that when he boxed Caballero. We also saw it versus Vianello as well. When things get tough for him, he's got this tick. He starts doing this weird sort of twitch.
Just missing. That's what he's waiting for. He's waiting to try and just catch Tyson with a shot because there's nothing else he can say or do. He's just got to hope one of them land.
Well, it's eating up. We're through 2 rounds. Round number 3 is about to get underway. Let's get a little bit of fan reaction, shall we? Our man Faraz is in the Redwood right now. Who are you with, mate?
So I've got Rory here with me, and we had a bit of some shocked faces after that first round, didn't we, Rory? But what you made the second round?
Yeah, it's a lot more close than I thought it would be. But it's been a great fight so far.
What's your prediction for the fight?
I think Fury's going to win, either on points or a knockout. But as I was saying, it's been a lot closer than I thought it would be.
And if he does win, I think the fight to make is Fury AJ. Who do you think takes that fight?
I was talking to my mate about it earlier. I think Fury, but it's close. I think probably 60-40 in Fury's favour.
So you're saying 60-40 for Fury AJ. What are the odds of him breaking into American Pie if he wins this fight? What do you reckon?
I'd love to see it. I'm not a betting man, but I'd love to see it.
We're getting a rendition from you, Rory.
No. I am the last person you want to hear. It's American Pie. There we are. But Rory's taking Fury on points. I agree. And we'll get back to you in the studio. Nice one, Adam.
Nice one, Faraz. Are you running a karaoke bar down there or something? Everybody's having a little bit of a sing-song, having a whale of a time. Just a little nice little right hand there from Makhmudov as he was lunging in. But Tyson Fury, again, I mentioned this in the second round, Spence. The feet are starting to move a bit now. First round, he looked like he were a little bit, what the heck is going on? Second round, he started to get going. And in this round, we're starting to see a little bit of a flaw, switching between orthodox and southpaw on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, he's found his legs a little bit now, isn't he? And he needed to. I think that was a wake-up call for him because the first round, he started a little bit slow. I don't think he was expecting Makhmudov to come out the way that he come out, but he committed himself very early on, and it sort of knocked Fury out of his stride. But he's got back to his rhythm now. He's doing well, but Makhmudov's still very dangerous in here as we reach the 1 minute mark of the third round.
You listen to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium is the destination for tonight's action. A little earlier on, Conor Benn came through on a unanimous points decision victory, taking 98-92 across all 3 judges' scorecards against Regis Prograis. I've no doubt there'll be plenty for us to talk about at the back end of the show on that and where he goes next. In the current moment, we are just about to complete round number 3 of 12 of Tyson Fury versus Arslanbek Makhmudov. Tyson Fury's big comeback at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. How he fares in this fight, I've no doubt, is going to lead us on to the narrative post-fight because ringside is a certain Mr. Anthony Joshua. And Turki Al-Sheikh, a little earlier on this evening, was alluding to the fact that should Tyson Fury be victorious this evening, and especially if he's spectacularly victorious, we might get Anthony Joshua in the ring tonight facing off with Tyson Fury. Do you see that?
I do see the fight happening. I still think.
Do you see the face-off tonight? Do you see him going nose to nose?
Yeah, I think they go nose to nose tonight, and they will announce.
Speak of the devil, he's on our screen right now.
Absolutely, yeah. And yeah, I think they go nose to nose. I think they announce the fight happening later on this year. I think we get that November time. We get that at Wembley Stadium in November. But before that, Anthony Joshua boxes Deontay Wilder in that warm-up, like Fury's having with this warm-up with Makhmudov. And Fury's, by the way, taking the control of this fight now.
And I'll be very surprised if Anthony Joshua commits to getting in the ring to do a face-off to talk about them fighting next, unless it's a done deal. If it's a done deal, then it's happening. These two, the day I see them both say it's the next fight, that's the only time I'm ever going to believe this fight's going to happen.
I think it's definitely, Fury comes through, it's definitely Fury's next fight, but I definitely 100% think that Anthony Joshua will want to box Deontay Wilder before he boxes Fury.
Is that wise?
Yeah. Did you see Deontay Wilder the other night?
Yeah, I did. But at the end of the day, we've been here on many occasions, haven't we, where we tried to set up semi-finals and, banana skins have kind of fallen off.
Yeah, then I'll tell you why. he will do that. Because let's say he goes in there with Deontay Wilder and he gets beat by Deontay Wilder. He'd rather lose to Deontay Wilder than he'd lose to Tyson Fury. So he's going to want to test himself, see what he's still got. Remember, Anthony Joshua's got a lot of ghosts he's got to deal with at the moment. You know, he's got all of that stuff that he's been through, the tragic circumstances out in Nigeria, losing his friends. He's got to deal with that. He's got to see if he can deal with those emotions in the ring. He would rather do that with Deontay Wilder, come through that and then fight Tyson Fury, and do it with Tyson Fury, just from a legacy point of view. That's where I'm at with it.
Makhmudov's having a better fourth round here. He's roughing up Tyson. Tyson worked in the third round. Makhmudov's getting closer to him. The swinging lefts, the ugly rights, the wailing shots that he's throwing over the top. Tyson, he's now clipping Tyson, not solidly, but enough to get Tyson's attention. So he's grabbing him and holding him up. Tyson in the last round was like boxing him off, punching him off.
Yeah, he's just closed a gap here. He's just landed a looping left right hook there as well. Fury's got to be careful he don't get caught. Well, it's a big shot like that left hook that went in as well.
It is entertaining when big lads are winging away like that.
You just love it, don't you?
You just need a little one on the whiskers and then someone goes for a little bit of a dance. What are your I say conclusions. It's a bit of a strong word to use, conclusions, when we haven't even completed round number 4 as of yet. But what are you making of the version of Tyson Fury that you've currently seen?
Not the Tyson Fury of old, that is for sure. I think that what we're seeing now with his current crop of heavyweights, we saw it with Derek Chisora and Deontay Wilder, didn't we, last time out, where you look at it and you go, you know what? There's two guys there nowhere near to competing at their best. Tyson Fury said it himself. He said, listen, if I perform like that against Makhmudov, shoot and take me to the top of the hill and shoot me. He said, literally said that. He goes, because, you know, I wouldn't want to be there. But at the moment, this is not a vintage performance from Tyson Fury, by no means of the imagination. Makhmudov is not a world-class fighter. He's a fringe-class fighter. And Tyson Fury is having a tough night here so far.
What we're seeing is the changing of the guards. We're looking at a faded version of who Tyson Fury was. We saw an absolutely lights-out version of Wilder last week and Chisora, even though Chisora was never world-class, world level. And so this is time for the youngsters coming through. The next one will be AJ. AJ will come in. He'll if he decides to box, and we'll look at him think. And this is nature. This is life. That's how it is. But this version of Fury thinking, can you get to the top again? Will you be honest with yourself when you look at this? You look back at this thinking, what am I doing this for? Am I now a prize fighter? And forget about that dream of being world champion.
Let me throw this in the mix now. AJ's sitting there at ringside, and you're right, Adam. I've just thought about it. And AJ might be looking at this going, yes, please. I don't need the warm-up fight. I'll go straight in with this version of Tyson Fury. So that might be in the mix there as well. But AJ might be looking at this saying,
AJ might not be the problem.
No.
Eddie might be the problem.
Yeah.
And that's what Turkey kind of alluded to. Eddie might be the problem why this isn't happening. Businesses, get slip one more in, let them wait, make some more dough, and then do it that way. But Eddie might be the problem, not AJ.
Round number 4 is completed. Have you guys got this 2 apiece?
Yeah, I've got it 2 apiece.
I've scored this 2 apiece so far. There you go. We're 2-2 through 4. Makhmudov started well, but Tyson Fury seems to have got the rhythm of his legs going again. When we're talking about the actual level of heavyweights then, that are currently out there, obviously I think most people will conclude that Usyk's elite, right? We put him on a different planet to everybody else. Who are the A-level heavyweights? Who are the B-level heavyweights? Who are the C-level heavyweights? And as you're looking at Tyson Fury, where does he fit in to this particular pyramid?
Moses Atauma.
Is it A?
Is A, yep. Kabiel.
Yep.
Ajit Kabiel is another one. Daniel Dubois is a good fighter, still learning, I believe. I think, forget the losses. Daniel Dubois is still very much a danger in the heavyweight division. Fabio Wardley. I mean, there's a new crop of heavyweights coming through for sure.
So would you put them? So you've got Usyk on the different planet. The 4 that you've just mentioned, just slightly underneath him.
The only reason why you'd put Tyson Fury in A or B is because of his past record, because of his past achievements.
Right? Yeah. So resume.
His resume.
What you can see right now.
What you can see now. You know, I'm just trying to figure out what am I actually looking at, because Tyson Fury, you know what, he's got to handle what's in front of him. But Tyson Fury, do you remember when he boxed Dylan White, knocked him out? Yeah. Boxed him. Dylan walked onto his shot, held his feet, bap, jab, brought an uppercut, took him out. Now, he can do that in spurts here, maybe 10, 15-second spurts, and then all of a sudden, you know, Makhmudov's all over him again. He's got to grab him, he's got to hold him, he's got to wrestle him. So that means he can't fight the way he wants to fight for 3 minutes of every round.
Yeah, that's so true. He's fighting in spurts, and when Makhmudov rushes him, Fury sort of freezes, holds his ground, and gets caught in a place where he doesn't want to be. You know.
So the obvious question. I mean, listen, Tyson Fury's rhetoric coming into this is, and we were talking about it on the way in. Does he want to try and become the best in the world once again? He wants to try and get himself a fight with Oleksandr Usyk. Usyk's talks about his 3 fights that he's going to have before he finishes, and Fury has been mentioned amongst those 3. Personally, I've seen enough of those 2 fighting each other to know who the best guy is. Is the only fight for Tyson Fury Anthony Joshua?
For me, yes.
I agree with you.
Absolutely. And looking at this Tyson Fury, 100% they need to do it next. I think, drop Wilder out the mix. Let's get rid of him now.
You can't afford.
And Anthony Joshua, looking at this, should be sensible enough. Eddie Hearn sitting at ringside should be sensible enough to go, let's go straight in.
Yeah.
Let's go for it.
That fight's not going anywhere, is it, for AJ? The Wilder fight?
But Styles makes fights. Styles make fights as well. Remember, AJ's not going to fight like this, and AJ will give Tyson more space to stand off and try and set the shots up. So Styles make fights. So even though we can critique Fury on this performance, try to slip the elbow him after the left hook.
Yeah.
Even though we can critique this performance of him, it'll be a completely different kind of fight. Him against AJ. And does AJ look at him and think, do you look solid? Do you look strong? Do you look like somebody I can punch and break down? Yes, you do. Because you're only fighting in spurts. Can you be consistent boxing all the way through 3 minutes of every round? No, he can't. But can AJ?
The difference that I see with this Tyson Fury, this version of Tyson Fury, to the old Tyson Fury that we know, the elite Tyson Fury, is this one gets hit. And that's a big problem. If he gets hit, AJ throws them shots straight down the pipe, and that's a problem, obviously, for Fury as well. That makes that fight much more even.
We've completed 5 rounds at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Do you think Fury just took that 5th one there?
Yeah, I think he just nicked that one.
Okay, so this is unofficial. We've got it 3-2 to Tyson Fury at the moment. Let's get into the pub, shall we? Down to the Redwood with Faraz. Let's see what the fans are thinking. Did you hear me then, Faraz? Well, he's just enjoying himself.
Yeah, I've got you know what I do.
Yeah, I can see, mate. I can see you playing with your ears, Sunshine. Over to you. Go on, talk to who you want to talk to. Go for it.
Yeah, so we've got Fergus here. Got Fergus. I think Makhmudov's causing Fury a few more troubles, isn't he, while we see the fight going?
Well, I think Makhmudov came out really fast, as I was expecting him to, but I think as the fight's gone on, Fury's pretty elusive, and I think you've seen Makhmudov fade in the back end of fights before, so I think that's what's going to happen. I think he's going to start to slow up and Fury's going to take over, and I think that's happening.
Do you think Fury's going to get this stoppage, or do you think he'll get it on points?
I think he might well get a late stoppage, round 11.
So what shot do you reckon? What shot you calling?
Well, I think Makhmudov's leaning over his front foot a little bit, so maybe an uppercut, like he did with Dillian White.
All right, and then obviously if he wins this one, I think Fury and AJ is on everyone's mind. How do you see that one going?
I want to see it Croke Park, Katie Taylor there as well, and I think I'd edge it 60-40 Tyson Fury.
60-40 Tyson Fury? All right, and do you think that would be a points or a stoppage win?
I think Tyson will, points.
Do you reckon Fury's got many more fights in him after this one and after the AJ one?
Honestly, I hope not. I think he needs to sail off to the sunset. He needs to understand what he's achieved, make sure he protects himself, he's secured his family's future. I think call it a day as soon as possible.
Call it a day before Atoma gets you. That's what I think.
Very true. I don't want to see that.
Nice one. That's what we've got from Fergus, Adam, and back to you.
Top man Faraz. Tyson Fury and Arslanbek Makhmudov in the ring at this moment in time. They're about halfway through round number 6, and the pattern of the fight is playing out very similar to round by round. There's no real upping of pace here, is there?
No, there isn't. No one really stamping their authority on it either. Tyson Fury's having his little moments, as Johnny said, like he's fighting in spurts, and when he does, he looks good. But then he allows Makhmudov to sort of rough him up a little bit rugged, a little bit crude, comes forward, throws the right hand, back foot comes over the front foot. Everything that he does is wrong, but he's having some success with that. And that guy, that Tyson Fury, wouldn't have been hit with him sort of shots, back in the day. So I think off this performance, we need the AJ fight sooner than ever.
Look at you. You've gone from, let's have a warm-up.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Just put the warm-up straight in the bin.
Listen, I think looking at Tyson Fury in this performance, AJ might be thinking exactly the self-same, because what's the point? What are you going to have the warm-up for? Fury's there. Look, you see what he's all about. You go, we need to make this fight. Otherwise, what's the point in risking it?
A moment or two ago, I was talking about that the last 3 fights that Oleksandr Usyk's going to have, and I know that we're coming to the end of eras here, and we saw that last week with Deontay Wilder / Derek Chisora. We're seeing it with Tyson Fury. We'll see it no doubt with Anthony Joshua. Usyk's obviously of that edge. He's still the king of the division. He's going to be fighting Rico Verhoeven in a couple of weeks' time at the Pyramids of Giza, isn't he? I don't want to say exhibition fight because it's not an exhibition fight. It's a proper fight, but it's a fight against not what we would class as a non-traditional Queensberry boxer. What 3 fights would you have liked to have seen Oleksandr Usyk go out on? Because he's called for Verhoeven, the winner of Wardley Dubois, and then Tyson Fury. That's what he's called for.
Listen, well, if you want a guy to seal off an incredible career and mop up the modern era, then you'd go, I can see the winner of Wardley Dubois, but although he beat Dubois, let's say Wardley comes through, then that's the fight that Wardley should be getting. So that's a great one. And then you just have to throw Moses the Talma in there if he really wanted to. But with risk versus reward, is it worth it for him at this stage of his career? Would he do it? I don't think so.
Yeah, but
that's the fight I'd like to see.
Yeah, I think the 3 fights that I would like to see, I would personally like to see him fighting Caballel next instead of Verhoeven.
Throw Caballel in there.
I would have liked to have seen that. I've no problem with him taking Fabio Wardley if Fabio Wardley beats Daniel Dubois. If Dubois wins, I don't need to see part 3 of Usyk Dubois. I understand it's picking up a trinket, but I'm not really that bothered about it. But Wardley would be absolutely fantastic. And then if you could put the cherry on top of the cake and get Italma before Italma becomes an absolute phenom, very similar to what Mayweather did with Canelo, maybe. Do that. And then put the cherry on top of the cake and ride off.
Yeah.
3 absolute banger fights that really stack up to the person that we've come to know with Oleksandr Usyk. I think if he does go out, listen, nobody will remember it in the end, will they? They'll remember what he did. They'll remember the Fury fights. They'll remember the AJ fights, the Dubois fights. That's what they'll remember. For me, just living in the moment, it's a little bit of a shame that this would be the ending. Wardley, bang up for it, no doubt about it. But the other 2 that are surrounding it, I can take or leave.
I get that, but do you know what? Oleksandr Usyk is that guy though that's never shied away from anything, and people have been calling Moses Atalma's name. He mentioned it. He was a little bit rattled about it and says, you know what, Moses Atalma, after Moses' last performance, if that's the fight that people want, that's the fight we do. I could actually see him doing it, Usyk, because he is that guy.
And listen, I think people are just getting carried away with themselves, trying to put Moses in with him now. They shouldn't do it. I think Usyk is far too smart, far too sharp. He'll bamboozle and I'm doing. And I rate Moses, but let's just hold your horses. Just if we start talking about it now, then maybe I'm in a year's time. But no, I wouldn't do it yet. I wouldn't do it at all.
What are the fights for Moses?
For Moses, he needs to start being a giant slayer. He needs to get in with people like Tyson and get himself a rep. Say, oh my God, did you see what we did to Tyson? Like AJ. Danger man. Is AJ the fight?
So former world champions next year.
Former world champions. That's what I'd put him in with.
What about Fabio Wardley or Daniel Dubois? Would you put him in with a loser of that?
It's something you can discuss, but then you think you can see this kid being a complete world ruling the heavyweight division. So therefore, you make every fight he has one step closer to getting the jewel in the crown, and then fight the others. Because a lot of these guys will scrap it out and take the good fights out of themselves, and they've missed, they've left their best instead of fighting the world champions. With him, I would really truly, I'd take my time with him, get him up there, make sure he fights former world champions, gets the experience. So when he's top of the tree, all these domestic fights that he'll probably win, we can put them together.
So the likes of, let's say, Andy Ruiz, former world champion. I know that Josie Parker...
Still dangerous, Andy. Still dangerous.
I know that Josie Parker's going through something at the moment, but hopefully he can get himself back. Former world champion. Yeah. Those types of names.
That's the kind of names I put him in with, because he'll learn a hell of a lot off them because they're experienced. Andy Ruiz, no matter what, he's still a bogeyman, still got fast hands, he's still dangerous. I wouldn't do Andy Ruiz. I did. If I was a heavyweight fighter, I'd avoid him like the plague. Because he's so underrated. Unfortunately, once he beat AJ and became comfortable, his hunger and desire, and being busy in the ring has gone. Yeah. Because that money's changed his appetite.
Well, if you remember, he fought Josie Parker when Josie Parker became world champion when he was 22, 23 years of age. And because I think it was favourable in Joseph Parker's side because of where it took place down under. If it had taken place somewhere else, Ruiz might have got the call that night because it was a very, very, very tight fight.
He's a great fighter, Andy Ruiz, and I think that why I would take the fight with him next, and because he's a great name on the resume. You break the American market because he's a recognisable name, and inactivity plays a massive part on a boxer's career, and Andy Ruiz Jr. has been very inactive, so timing would be absolutely perfect because the name on the resume looks great, and Ruiz, just at this, if he was an active fighter, I'd probably be saying, do you know what, he's maybe not the guy that you go next.
Would you? I know he's not a former world champion, he's a former interim world champion. Would you do Zhang?
Yeah, I would. I think Zhang he's got gas problems. I think after 4 rounds, he's like, oh, I've given it my best. I think he's got the movement, he's got the fitness to snatch and grab. I'd do him. I'd do the former world champions, get him in there, to being a giant slayer.
Yeah, getting the names on the resume.
I think the problem is though now for Queensberry who look after Moses, it's going to cost a few quid to get an opponent, isn't it? On the opposite side.
There's a problem, and the thing is, Queensberry don't have Riyadh money. And so, and heavyweights, they're the big buyers, they're the big boys, they need paying. So unfortunately, how are these fights going to take place if they're all in the same pot, all in the same on the same panel, on the same promoter?
Boys, let me just throw you back to this fight here. 8th round with 2 minutes 10 seconds left on the clock, and Tyson Fury's completely taken over. Makhmudov has slowed up somewhat now, and Fury's found his range, and he's having some really good moments. Makhmudov trying there, falling forward, a little bit laboured in his approach there, but Tyson Fury now got complete control of this one.
Yeah, so and this is what he needed. He needed to take the sting out of Makhmudov for the first 3 rounds, and then his boxing ability should prevail and do the job. And even though in cameos he's showing and his boxing ability, he's still getting rough, he's still getting ugly, he's still not able to completely control him, out-fool him, out-baffle him because of his boxing experience, but he's still not be able to completely control him.
He's completely getting through this on boxing IQ, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's Tyson Fury. That you can tell that the lad from being born has been on some type of caravan site somewhere.
Listen,
having a scrap with somebody.
mate, he's in his comfort zone in there, isn't he? That's his happy place for sure. And as these rounds are going on, he's getting more and more into it. This is what Tyson Fury loves to do. Like I say, Makhmudov now, that, you know, the aggressive, reckless approach has sort of gone now, and Fury as controlling that space. He's letting the shots go. The combinations are starting to come together. He's starting to put it together now. The old Tyson Fury is starting to come through in glimpses.
Couple of shots on the way in there for Tyson Fury, landing on Arslanbek Makhmudov. You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. All your favourite games, all in one place. You've got to be over 18. Gambleaware.org. We're about to complete the 8th round. It's getting a little bit lively, I believe, in the old Redwood pub where our man Faraz is. So let's get ourselves back down to the Redwood. Faraz, who are you with, mate? I assume he hasn't got his headphones in again. Can someone in our team just tell him to keep his headphones in throughout the whole course of the show? That will be absolutely wonderful as we cross on back to him. That will be wonderful. Tyson Fury, where are you at with the
I can see Makhmudov's going to get stopped because now Tyson Fury's starting to land the shots, bring the uppercuts up. Makhmudov's tired, and now Tyson's stepping in with those uppercuts. So it's taken him 8 rounds to get to this point of dominance against the pedestrian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same as you, Johnny. I think this fight ends inside the distance. Makhmudov has just flopped down on his chair. The twitch is going again. He's breathing heavily. The corner's giving him instructions. Doesn't look particularly focused either in there. And I think that, as we've seen in the past with Makhmudov, we saw it against Catterall, we saw it against Vianello as well. He comes apart. You know, once he blows a cylinder, the old gas tank goes, then he comes apart. Fury landed a good couple of shots in that one. We're just watching the slow-mos on the monitors. He got through with a wicked left hook, right uppercut as well. He's starting to break down the defences here of Arslanbek Makhmudov, and I just feel that the next 3 to 6 minutes, they'll call time on this fight. Makhmudov has come apart.
Fury's just got to go through the gears a little bit quicker, hasn't he? You know what I mean? But just put his foot down on it a touch, because you feel, watching those little bits of replay, that any sustained barrage of something, the referee might jump in.
Yeah, I think that, Makhmudov might just come apart as well, because he is that guy. We've seen that in the past. You know, that is his character. He's very good early on, but as the fight wears on and that intensity leaves him, he becomes very vulnerable. And I think we're just starting to see that now.
Is Faraz ready for me in the Redwood? Is he ready to rock and roll? Let's try, shall we? Let's get back down there. Faraz, are you there?
Yeah, we're here.
Right,
Here, Adam.
over
and
to
it's
you.
getting a bit lively in the Redwood here. Getting lively in the Redwood here is picking up, like this fight's picking up. I'm here with Lofty and Danny. How you see the fight going, lads?
Well, I think Fury is winning this fight comfortably. You know, he looks like he's having fun. And, you know, I think he's just collecting a paycheck in general.
What do you reckon, Dan?
Yeah, I think, like he said, he looks like he's having fun out there. He looks like he's won every round. I was worried his legs might have been gone, but they don't look like it at all. I think Joshua is waiting for him, mate. It is waiting.
Is that what you think, AJ next?
I think AJ next. For British boxing, for the fans, I think that's the only fight that can possibly happen. We don't want to see another Wilder, another Chisora. We want to see Joshua. Both of them probably past their best now, so it's probably happened a bit too late than we wanted, but I still think it needs to happen for British boxing.
And how would you see that fight going?
Oh, it's such a hard one to call. Obviously, Fury's a better boxer, but Joshua's got the knockout power. If Fury's legs go, Joshua knockout. If not, I'm going to sit on the fence. If not, Fury points.
No good, you, Dan. No sitting on the fence.
I reckon it'll go, be a split decision or TKO for Fury.
Split decision, Fury? I didn't expect to hear that, like. But no, how would you see this fight going now, Fury Makhmudov?
Sorry, say that again, sorry.
How would you think this will end?
This one? I think it's going decision. It has to be, yeah.
Fury decision from us here. We'll see how that goes. Nice one, Adam.
Can I just say something?
Oh, hang on, he wants to say a bit more. No, he does he? Does he not? Oh, he's singing something. I could. There's no sound on it, but I could just see the video of a young gentleman singing with Raz in the boozer. So if you're watching along on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, I know that you can see that party going on, which is happening downstairs here at talkSPORT Towers. Just about to conclude round number 9. Makhmudov isn't offering what he was offering in the first 2 rounds. Fury's figured this fight out, and he's just doing Tyson Fury things now.
Yeah, he's just fighting on emotion at the moment. I think Makhmudov is fighting, just purely on instinct. He's looking tired, he's looking laboured, he's falling in, and Fury's sort of got control of this one. But credit to Makhmudov, he's showing a little bit of character, he's sticking in there, but you just feel, Johnny, that any given point here, Makhmudov might just come apart.
Yeah, without that, he's exhausted, and remember, the success for him is the first quarter of a fight, and then he starts to get flat-footed. He's just a strong unit in front of him, and Tyson understood that. So now Tyson's going to try and break this fella down, but he's a tough unit. Remember, this fella fights bears, so Tyson's got to somehow see if he can dismantle him and stop him.
Well, 9 rounds have gone. A little earlier on, Conor Benn came through on a unanimous points decision, 98-92 against Regis Prograis. We'll talk about him a little bit later on in the programme. Richard Riakporhe delivered a fantastic knockout blow on Jamie Tikashiva to become the British heavyweight champion. And it was Justice Hooney's night against Fraser Clark. A good fight, good competitive fight, but I think the judges got it right, scoring it 6-4 in favour of Justice Hooney. Again, we'll pick the bones out of all of that a little bit later on. We are expecting Anthony Joshua into the ring at the end of this particular fight, and that is as per Turki Al-Sheikh, who was alluding to that a little earlier on in the evening. Round number 10, underway. What have you got it? Have you got it 8-2?
Yeah, Fury's completely dominating this one now. Yeah, 7 rounds to 2 going into the 7th round. Yeah, I think that he's sort of, Makhmudov started very well. Fury's taken over, and as the rounds have gone on, he's controlled the space of it all. Makhmudov's intensity has left him, and Fury is just dominating, doing what he does best. He's found the range with that jab now. That weren't there in the first couple of rounds. Getting through the right hands as well, and Makhmudov, to be fair, is doing well to hang in there because he's looking tired now. And Fury is, Fury's just all over him.
How do you think, right, I know that we're heading towards Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury. That's what it feels like anyway from all the noises that we're getting ringside with the promoters that are involved. Every single promoter, it seems to be sat ringside, which is highly amusing, seeing as that every 2 minutes I'll switch on social media and they're all having a go at each other. We've got Frank Warren, We've got Eddie Hearn, Ben Shalom's there. We've got Frank Smith, who's obviously part of Eddie Hearn's team. Turkey Al-Sheikh's there. Everybody's there at ringside tonight.
I love it. They're all there ringside. They're all sitting next to each other and they all hate each other. It's just like absolutely genius. The power of Turkey Al-Sheikh is absolutely insane.
It is, you know what? It just shows greed and money talks, and these people have got to sit in the same room as each other. And remember, you're forgetting the one that's got the smuggest smile on is Eubank Jr. He's sat there and he's hammered every one of them, and so I just think, from a fighter's point of view, it's comforting to see. You know what happens at the top of the chain as well as the bottom.
I tell you what, Makhmudov just walked into a massive right hand there. He's holding on for dear life in there at the moment. Fury, you just feel might be just getting to him here. He's just breaking with 1 minute, 20 seconds left of this 10th round. Makhmudov is very, very happy to hold.
How will this heavyweight era of these guys be remembered, do you think?
I think it's a great heavyweight era, if I'm totally honest. I think that there's some big characters in the game, isn't there? You know, it's not just Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Dillian White's played his part. Derek Chisora has been the sort of gatekeeper, the guy and a big character as well. There's been some big names in this division, and I think that they've sort of held it up for the last 10 years or so. I think they've created a lot of interest, brought a lot of interest back to boxing for sure.
There's a lot of talk. Was there enough action?
As in?
Fights happening.
Did we get the fights?
Yeah, well, that's why I think we do get them now, but they're too late. But like, do you know what our wish would have been? I think the ideal scenario for us, the boxing fans, would have been that Turkey Al-Sheikh come
5 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah, 10 years ago, yeah.
So
and we would have got it.
So in the shape of Turkey Al-Sheikh in regards to making fights happen, you've got Dana White. Dana White comes on. So now it's the boys' club again. These guys are going to try and shut him out and quiet him down because he's coming to ruffle everybody's feathers. He doesn't care if you're a winner or loser. He wants all the fight. He wants the fight. Fighter one to fight number two.
I think Makhmudov was. We tell you what, he just walked back to that corner. He took a massive left hook and right hand, and he's walked back to the corner. Yeah. He don't know if he's Arthur or Martha as he was walking back there. That's for sure.
He took some serious punishment at the end of the 10th round. I asked that question because I was speaking to a friend the other day, and that's what they said to me. They said there's been a lot of talk, there's not been enough action. But when I analyse it, Usyk's come into the heavyweight division, right? And he's fought Fury twice, and he's fought AJ twice.
And Dubois.
Well, of the top four, if we just concentrate on Fury, AJ, Wilder, and now Usyk, obviously, that's come in there. So Usyk's fought 4 fights, all right, against 2 opponents. Fury's taken Wilder on 3 times and Usyk on twice. You've got AJ who's taken on Usyk twice, and you've got Wilder who's taken on Fury 3 times, right? So we've had 7 fights between the top 4 of this generation. Tyson Fury's been in 5 of them, of those 7.
Hey, you're forgetting about him fighting Klitschko.
Of course, previous generation as well. Yeah. He went in there with them. I'm just looking at the guys that they didn't fight. So Usyk's obviously not fought Wilder. I don't think we're going to see that.
I don't know, you know.
Do you think we might?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because if AJ decides to do a little bit of a U-turn off the back of this one and go, I'm going with Fury next, you might just see Wilder versus Usyk. Usyk is all about
mopping up the division.
I'm struggling. Can you see that them being a desire for Wilder to get in there after what we saw? Do you really see a desire for AJ or Usyk or even Fury to get in with Wilder after what we saw?
But don't you think, Eddie, Johnny, that this has now changed so much that it's not about the desire to want to see it or whatever else. If Turkey Al-Sheikh Riyadh season, they go like, that's the fight I want to see. I think these guys need to box each other because the money's on the table. It's not all about box office sales and whatnot because they must be losing a lot of money trying to build this sport and getting everyone.
But how could they build Wilder fighting? Any of them not. How could they build that fight?
All right, I'll tell you. All right, let's do this. AJ versus Fury.
Yeah.
With Wilder versus Usyk.
Same card.
On the same card.
The reason why, listen, I agree, Johnny, I completely agree with you. From a pure boxing standpoint, meritocracy of the sport, no, it doesn't work. Absolutely does not work. And it's very, very hard to convince someone who knows about boxing, like yourself, that is a competitive fight, right? Very, very, very difficult. But let's have a look. This tonight is being broadcast on Netflix. That's an entertainment channel. It's not a sports channel. It's an entertainment channel where people are looking for entertainment. Wilder's a character, isn't he? You could probably do a series on Wilder and his life, which would captivate a very casual audience that don't know too much about boxing. You can show all these highlight reel knockouts, 42 or 43 opponents and all that. And then obviously you can build Oleksandr Usyk as the best guy on the planet. I would not be surprised.
On Netflix?
On a Netflix platform, on an entertainment platform.
I just struggle how you'd get people to forget what they saw.
Yeah.
I just struggle.
Yeah, but you're talking about boxing fans. Boxing fans won't forget. You're not trying to market it to boxing fans. You're trying to market it to the entertainment market.
That was my point. You're not selling it as a pay-per-view product. Like if you're putting it on Netflix, right? You go like, and you're right, Adam, what you say. Deontay Wilder is a huge character, right? You know, the build-up to fights, as we've seen just recently, is brilliant. He's sheer entertainment. Oleksandr Usyk's that guy as well. And if you've done a series on them, like at Home with the Furies, you've done a documentary on Deontay Wilder, Oleksandr Usyk, his background. All of a sudden, you're getting this new generation of people, non-boxing fans, wanting to watch the fight.
And
that's how I think it works.
And the flip of it, when they actually tune in and watch it, because it will be billed as Deontay Wilder's the knockout guy. He's just put Tyson Fury's put it on him in the corner. Deontay Wilder's the knockout guy. When you actually watch it and you see Oleksandr Usyk knock out the knockout guy, then you've got that entertainment factor, haven't you? You've got the Rocky Balboa element of that Netflix production.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm just going to be the pessimist and think I just struggle.
Mate, every boxing fan will feel exactly how you feel. Every boxing fan.
After that fight against Derek, I thought you two have you've taken a few more holes off. Wilder was always that fighter because we can get lost down the avenue of nostalgia. Oh my God, he did X, Y, Z. Now I just think it's gone. It's gone. There's not even a danger there in regards to what you saw. I just think it's gone.
That fight doesn't sell on DAZN for sure, mate.
Yeah.
I totally get that. They lose. They hemorrhage money if they put that on DAZN because the pay-per-view sales. You only get your hardcore boxing fans watching that, wanting to buy that. But Netflix is a different product. That's how I can see it working.
Well, if you're convinced that there's a possibility that could happen. The fights that haven't happened with us for the generation. So we haven't had Usyk Wilder. You think that might happen? Fury AJ, we might get them nosing off at some point later on. AJ hasn't, as well as not fighting Fury, hasn't fought Wilder.
I can see that happening as well.
Yeah.
So do you reckon we could actually get a bow on that whole era where we would get Usyk versus Wilder, where we would get Fury versus AJ, where we would get AJ versus Wilder?
Little round robin, for sure.
So if Wilder fights any of them, he gets knocked out.
He gets beaten all of
Oh, it's over.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's over. So he's out of the mix. So he's got one fight left.
See what you've done to him.
Hang on.
You've rattled him.
Yeah, but think about it, right? So let's say you go Usyk Wilder first. Usyk wins that fight. Yeah, we're all convinced of that.
Yeah, Wilder gets knocked out.
Right, he gets knocked out.
Yeah.
Fury AJ, who wins it?
You see, that's where the problem is. Because
So if AJ doesn't win it, can you then not make AJ versus Wilder?
No, because Wilder's that bad.
Yeah, but if AJ doesn't win.
But AJ's not that bad.
Yeah, but
Wilder's terrible.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If AJ doesn't win, he's not going to go out on a loss, is he? So therefore you make the Wilder fight.
And also, Johnny, that's like this. We're talking about it landing, all these fights happening if they land on Netflix, right? And Netflix is not your boxing audience. That's how it happens.
Netflix or Misfits. Is that what you're saying?
Something like that. I know it's insane that we're actually having these conversations, but what I'm saying is with this new broadcast coming in, it's making things all sort of possible. Like, just look at it and you just...
It's past itself, but everything's past itself.
Okay, what we're looking at right now, Tyson Fury is absolutely mullering Makhmudov here.
Yeah.
Now, word on the street, they gave tickets away tonight. We're in London, and even though it's nice to see Tyson Fury back, I got to have a taxi. They gave 100 tickets to taxi drivers in and around London, and that's one. So they couldn't sell this to push it out there. So and this is Makhmudov. So therefore, you got to think to yourself, if the general public, they saw Wilder in the mix last week, and he looked like a drunk fella fighting on West Street in Sheffield.
Well, Makhmudov's in big trouble here. By the way, 50 seconds to go. Big trouble. He's just taking some massive right hand. I don't know how he stood up from that.
Fury's looked really good when he's turned southpaw, by the way.
Yeah, he has. He has.
Fury's one of the few fighters that boxes as good as southpaw.
Yeah, go on. What is you saying about this?
Yeah, so my point is this. My point is that it's just I understand what you're saying because we're down the avenue of nostalgia, but I just think Wilder that saleability's gone. And that's why you know what I think AJ should fight Fury next because if one of them lose, it's done. It's never gonna happen.
Right, I got it. AJ fights Wilder next. Does it sell out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium?
AJ Wilder?
Does it? AJ Wilder next. Does it sell out?
I think that's the wrong venue. I think this is the wrong venue for this.
Yeah, but do you reckon
just do it at the O2?
The O2, you sell at the O2.
Yeah,
you sell at the O2
stadium.
Nah.
Doesn't need a stadium. Why do you need a stadium?
No, don't. I'm just asking. Does
Because
it sell out?
what is it? How many is there? 60,000
be,
people
yeah.
there. Tyson Fury fights over. Tyson Fury looks like he's won the fight. He ended up beating Makhmudov there. So we're talking AJ Wilder in Tottenham. No, I don't think it sells.
I don't think it does either.
What about AJ versus Fury? Does that sell there?
Yeah.
Come on, of course it does.
Probably.
Yeah, every day.
100% it does. And will it get announced? Because he's getting in the ring soon.
Look at you getting all excited and giddy,
so
man.
excited.
Mate, it's 5 years, 6 years too late.
I don't care. We still get it. That's what I want to see, man. I need to see that fight.
You're all in on the Netflix train. Let's go.
No, I'm all in on the AJ versus Fury fight. Yeah, it is past its sell-by date for sure, but I'm still an intrigue there. I still want to see the fight. By the way,
go on.
Tell me if I'm wrong here. Tell me if I'm wrong here, boys. That's still the biggest fight in boxing.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Regardless of all the heavyweights around the world, it is the biggest fight in boxing to it, even now. But you can't leave it too long. You know, and we've had the Gypsies warning. AJ got turned over. Fury's been retired. Now that you've got the chance for this to happen, you can't leave it too long because one of them lose. That is no longer the biggest fight in boxing.
So AJ doesn't get a warm up.
And you know what? I think AJ and Fury is bigger than anybody you put in with Usyk.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Usyk needs a dance partner. As good as he is,
he's beating all the dance partners. What are you talking about, man?
But what I'm saying,
put him in with everybody. He's beating them all.
No, but what I'm saying is, let's say you put in a Usyk versus Caballero or Usyk versus Bianello, or something like that. What I'm saying is, it's a tough sell globally.
Well, I think Usyk Caballero sells out in Germany.
Germany, massive.
I think it goes massive in Germany.
Yeah.
You know what I think the announcement's going to be? AJ Fury on Netflix. AJ Fury on Netflix.
What next?
Yeah, that's what. If there's an announcement tonight.
Look at you. You just went off into a little fantasy world.
AJ Fury on Netflix.
I think it definitely lands there. Yeah, but I'm sort of now half off the back of that. I'm hoping that it happens next.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
Listen, we've been playing too long. Hang on, he's pointing at somebody. Is he pointing at family members or is he pointing at somebody for a fight? Tyson Fury having just a little bit of a chat with someone. He's calling someone in.
He's calling
him in.
He's calling
AJ into the ring.
Yeah, so if it's going to happen, he'll get in and say
AJ
it.
don't fancy
if it's
it.
Not say,
AJ's saying no. Get in the ring. Let's go.
What's he doing? Why is he not getting in the ring, man? Get in the ring.
AJ, come on, man.
Get in there. Tyson Fury is beckoning Anthony Joshua.
Don't let him mug you off, mate. Don't let him mug you off. Don't let him mug you off.
AJ needs to get in that ring, boy.
So we haven't had the announcement of the result yet, but Tyson Fury made a beeline there for Anthony Joshua. He called him over. Anthony Joshua came over, they shook hands and everything was cool, but it was quite evident that Tyson Fury was saying, listen, get in the ring.
Let's make this fight.
And let's make this fight happen. We're just waiting for the official announcement of the score here. I don't think there's going to be any problems. Listen, I gave Makhmudov 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds, and then Tyson Fury got into his rhythm and won the next 10.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've all been paid handsomely, but all in all, it was one just to blow off a little bit of rust. There was moments there where Tyson Fury showed that the feet are still there. He can still move quite well. It's going to be interesting to see how he shapes up against Anthony Joshua.
Why didn't AJ get in the ring? It's blown my mind, if I'm honest. That was the perfect opportunity.
You're upset now, aren't you?
I sort of am, if I'm honest. Sort of am. I was talking at the beginning of the show going, I want AJ Wilder. He has that warm-up fight. Then we get AJ Tyson Fury. Off the back of that, I'm going, no, let's make the fight next. Let's make the fight next. We need to make that fight next.
Has he took his shorts? He has. He's took his shorts off, hasn't he? Has he whizzed them in the crowd or something because they were commemorative shorts that he was wearing, obviously, to pay tribute to Ricky Hatton. Tyson Fury's only wearing boxer shorts as it stands right now. 120, 108, which is basically every single round. We've got 120, 108 and 119, 109. So 2 judges gave it a shutout and 1 judge gave 1 round to Makhmudov.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, it is fair enough. I thought he took the first 2 rounds, but it is what it is. Tyson Fury won relatively comfortably. I can tell you as well, gentlemen, in the aftermath of the Conor Benn fight, Regis Prograis announced his retirement from boxing. He's called time. So that's him calling time on a fantastic career where he became a 2-time champion at 140 pounds. Obviously, he gives an epic clash in the Super Series of boxing here in London against Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor, by the way, I believe he's going to be joining you on Tuesday. I think he's on Talk Boxing with you and Simon, mate.
He is, mate. So I'm sure we'll pick the bones out of Conor Benn and his performance against Regis Prograis. We'll get a little bit of that fight. That was one of the best fights I've seen live, by the way. That was August 2019, Josh Taylor versus Regis Prograis, World Boxing Series, Super Series final. What a fight, man. Josh Taylor won on a split decision, but could have gone either way. Regis Prograis, great fighter, and he's given us some brilliant nights.
Right. Now, for those that are joining us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, you can see us that we're actually watching a screen at this moment in time. Turkey Al-Sheikh has just taken the microphone off the presenter.
Oh, he's putting him under pressure. He's putting Eddie under pressure.
Just taking the mic
under pressure. Stand up, AJ, man.
AJ does not look happy at what he's happening.
He's calling him on
right now. Tyson Fury has been given the microphone by Turkey Al-Sheikh. Frank Warren stood next to him. Turkey Al-Sheikh stood next to him. And he is addressing this crowd now at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And he's standing right in front of Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is sat down in his seat. He hasn't moved.
Brother. Don't let him mug you off, brother.
He's nodding.
Oh, no, nice. I reckon he's giving him homage to say he's been through a rough time, but then he's saying,
and that's fair.
Some of this.
And that's absolutely fair. Stood next to Anthony Joshua is, of course, Eddie Hearn, Frank Smith, but he is calling him out. He is calling him out. Oh, my days. He has basically just said, do you accept my challenge for a fight, me against you? And Anthony Joshua is just staring back at him, not making any movement whatsoever. And it looks like Turkey Al-Sheikh's take. Is he? Yeah, Turkey Al-Sheikh's still there, tucking away. So,
I am just so intrigued to see what they're actually saying. AJ does not look happy.
Well, obviously, we've no sound on this at the moment, but Tyson Fury has called out Anthony Joshua. The presenter, Josh Denzel, is talking directly to Anthony Joshua as we speak. Joshua's not moving.
Oh!
They've given a microphone to Anthony Joshua. He's saying, Tyson, you are a clout chaser. And has handed the mic. Oh, he's been given a microphone to address the crowd. It's a shame that we do not have this right now because this is going off. This is probably the most entertaining part of this heavyweight
contest.
It's
like WWF wrestling. Come on, son.
Mate, by the way, it's all about Netflix, man. This is what it's all about. It's an entertainment station.
He's still sat down, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is saying that I've been chasing you for the last 10 years. This is all clout. You're not telling me what to do. I'll decide when this is happening. Now, these two are going back and forth. When you're ready, come and see me. That is what Tyson Fury has just said back to Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua has just responded by saying, I'm the landlord. Just remember that. These two are going back and forth. I'll be honest with you. This is the most entertaining part of tonight's action. Tyson Fury now has been given the microphone back and he's sounding off to this crowd. Frank Warren's loving it. Turkey Al-Sheikh's loving it. Everybody in the crowd's loving it. Anthony Joshua's stoic. He hasn't moved.
No.
Hasn't moved at all. Is there a slight part of you that's slightly disappointed? Listen.
Massively.
Anthony Joshua will handle it how Anthony Joshua wants to handle it. He's his own man. But just for a little bit of nose to nose, that moment I think was needed right
Jump out of your chair, mate. Like, address the situation. Jump up into the ring. That's what he needs to do right now.
He's going to get hammered. AJ's going to get hammered.
Don't just
and I understand. I think I understand. You know, he's thinking I'm not going to be peer pressured by anybody. You know, and that was the plan. That's Turkey's plan, Frank's plan, Tyson's plan, and they're going to keep goading him and goading him and goading him. He's like, oh, giving him the bird, and is he walking away, or has he just got up to get him?
Well, he's still. Fury were yelling at him 2 seconds ago. AJ flipped the bird at him, and now he's stood up. And he's. It looks like he's making his way away from ringside with Eddie Hearn as Tyson Fury's obviously doing his interviews with Netflix. All in all, Tyson Fury did what he was supposed to do. He's gone and dominated that fight.
That's what I'm saying. Tyson Fury, like, he is a huge character. He's been a huge character all this week. Look at the way he's just dealt with that. It was, WWE /boxing towards the end there, calling him out. AJ should have responded to that He should have. He should have just jumped up in the ring, made it. Whether the fight happens next or whether it doesn't happen next, could you imagine the interest
He'll be kicking himself.
you've created from that?
He'll be kicking him. AJ will be kicking himself because he think I should have said this. I should have said that. I should have X whatever it is. AJ's still there. He's still hovering around. So that means he's still contemplating. What do I actually say?
He's now giving an interview to television. Obviously, Anna's got a microphone in her hand, and she's now asking questions to Anthony Joshua. All interesting stuff. We're going to pick the bones out of everything that is happening at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium as we just take a little bit of a breath. But the headlines are Tyson Fury's come through on a unanimous points decision victory over Arslanbek Makhmudov. He coasted it from round 2 onwards. It was a relatively straightforward, easy night for him. He wants Anthony Joshua. Does Anthony Joshua want him? We will find out in due course. And a little earlier on, Conor Benn came through 98-92 on 3 scorecards against Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis, in the aftermath, has announced his retirement from professional competition. We'll get stuck into more on Fight Night next.
Robertson at Liverpool, earlier in the show, but here's a reminder what Robertson achieved in his career. He'll leave Anfield after 9 years. 9 years, brilliant. Over 375 appearances and having won every trophy available. What about that for a career, Ray? Did you win everyone?
What's that, Al? What listening?
Rob won 375 appearances.
Did he?
For Liverpool. And he's won every trophy available.
I didn't win the Champions League. That's the only one we was missing for us. We won the League Cup. I won the League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, Cup Winners' Cup, I think it was, UEFA Cup. Cup Winners' Cup.
He came with Maguire, didn't he, from Hull?
Who's another great player who's playing tonight, who come from Hull? You get that. He's playing tonight. There's a clue for you. Another great signing.
Of course.
Bowen. He come from Hull City.
Of course he did.
All the fantastic players who play for Hull. Who did I play for? Hull City.
I love the. Do you know the way he strikes the ball? He's hardly any backlift. But he is. He's deadly.
I can see Robertson going Celtic, though, can you?
Yes. Yes, I think so.
Obviously, Tierney's still there as well, isn't he?
Tierney's had a great career. But I think the injuries caught up with him a little bit.
Yeah, great.
But he still gives his 100%. And Andy Robb will...
It is Fight Night Live on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me as it all concludes at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're going to pick the bones out of it for the next 45 minutes or so. The headlines are that Tyson Fury did the business against Arslanbek Makhmudov, winning unanimous points decision victory, as did Conor Benn, beating Regis Prograis a little earlier on. Regis Prograis announced his retirement from professional competition. We've got Richard Riakporhe becoming the British champion, knocking out Jamie TKV. And it was a good night for Justice Hooney, who got the job done against Fraser Clark. Very tight fight, that one. But it was Justice Hooney that came through on a majority decision. The aftermath of the Fury fight was all about Fury and AJ. They went back and forth on microphones. Everybody was chirping away and what have you. Anthony Joshua was beckoned into the ring by Tyson Fury, but he were having none of it. He ain't dancing to anybody else's tune. I kind of like that, even though I would have loved to have seen them go nose to nose and get it on. Anyway, before the boys pick the bones out of everything that we've watched, let's get back down to the Redwood. What do the fans make of it? Faraz, what are they saying in the boozer?
So I tell you what, when the result came in the final bell, there was a few jeers and a few boos, so I think few people weren't too happy with Fury's performance. I'm going to ask Kai here, what did you make of Fury's performance?
I thought it looked slow. I mean, it's not the Fury we would have seen about 4 or 5 years ago, but he got the job done, and that's all that matters at the end of the day.
And on to big things next. I know WWE's on Netflix, but I think we got a little preview of WrestleMania for next week, you know what I mean? It was all things WWE there. Expecting The Undertaker to come out. So what did you make of Fury's call-out with AJ?
I mean, I think that's what the British boxing fan base has wanted to see for the last 3 years, 4 years. It needs to happen. And I mean, it needs to happen within the next 6 months, a year. It can't be a fight that happens 2, 3 years in the future, because they'll both be past their prime. So it needs to happen now, and it needs to happen the next fight for both of them, really.
And if Fury and AJ get it on, how do you see it going, Nate?
What do I say, what?
How do you see Fury and AJ if they get it on?
I mean, obviously it's going to be a completely different fight to people would expect, as they were both in their prime. I think AJ is lacking a bit of confidence recently. His last 2 fights were non-boxers, really, Ngannou and Jake Paul. So he'd be a bit against it. I think Fury's a technician, and he showed that in this fight. So I would edge Fury to win it.
AJ Fury, Red, what do you reckon?
It's a tough one. Fury didn't look good tonight, I don't think. So, but AJ, mentally speaking, recently, he's not been good either. So, if AJ can step up to it and he can get his mental in check, personally, I think AJ wins. But is Tyson Fury too consistent in them rounds, technically speaking? Is he consistent over the whole fight to be able to keep him away, and is AJ not strong enough to keep his mental in check throughout them fights?
Last but not least, Kai, what do you think?
I hope AJ wins. I think on recent form, I think Joshua just takes it. But it would have been a fight I'd love to have seen about a year ago, 2 years ago. I think that's when it would have been the best.
I think we're all in agreement at the Red One here. Fury AJ needs to happen, and we'll love to see it. See you back, Adam, and see what you think.
Top man Faraz, thank you very much for your work this evening. Don't get too carried away with the party that's going on in the pub there. Looks like everybody's had a whale of a time enjoying the boxing here on talkSPORT and enjoying your coverage of it as well, mate. Thank you very much for that. Listen, there's lots to take from tonight's action. I think what we're going to do, we're going to cross over to America, because Paulie Malignaggi very kindly has given up a little bit of time to come and join us on the show. Paulie, welcome back. How are you, mate?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you guys doing? Always a pleasure to be on with you.
Pleasure to have you with us, mate, and to get your insight on that. I've no doubt that you will have seen things that maybe we didn't pick up on ourselves throughout the course of the fight. What did you make of the performance from Tyson Fury?
Listen, he's been off for a little while. I think you have to give, you have to take it for what it is. It's not a prime Tyson Fury. It's a Fury that probably wanted to get some work and needed to get some work, and he got some rust off. Listen, getting the rust off fight is always a preliminary thing. I think if the comeback continues, he's probably a little bit sharper in a second fight and a third fight. I think he needed to have this kind of fight before going into a Joshua fight, because Joshua also, let's think about it, also had a shake of the rust off fight against Jake Paul, right? So you kind of need these kind of performances. You need these kind of fights, even if they're not, even if they're more spectacles than they are tough fights. They do shake the rust out. They do get you through a training camp, and they do, work your reflexes and your technical skills.
What did you make of the back and forth at the end? Obviously, when Tyson Fury's on the microphone calling Anthony Joshua in, and Joshua refused to join him.
I think AJ is just a serious guy, you know, so he doesn't care so much about the fanfare. Tyson, on the other hand, likes to give a little stick. You know, he likes to give a little bit of banter. You know, that's more so his personality. Both guys have these kind of personalities. But listen, they're both stars. They've both been heavyweight champions. It's a fight that British boxing wants, and it's a fight, honestly, that even on the world stage, even if it's not at the highest level anymore, will still interest people. People talk about who's the biggest star in boxing. Listen, Anthony Joshua can still fill out arenas and stadiums. Tyson Fury has constantly filled out arenas and stadiums as well. How many fights in a row is this for Tyson Fury where he's fought in a stadium? So these two are major stars, big stars. No matter what's on the line, at the end of the day, it's a boxing match that both boxing fans and casuals will enjoy.
Paulie, if you was Anthony Joshua right now, would you go straight into that Tyson Fury fight? You know, we know that Anthony Joshua's come off that victory over Jake Paul, but since then, you know, the tragedies that he'd been through out in Nigeria, the mental, you know, the psychological stuff that he's got to deal with there. There was talk of him boxing Deontay Wilder next to get rid of that ring rust, see if he can get over that psychological damage, if you like. Now we've seen Fury perform like that. What would your advice be to him? Where would you go if you was him?
That's a good question, Spencer. It's a lot to consider if you're Anthony Joshua, because he's got both of these fights on the table, really. You know, Fury already fought Wilder 3 times, so that chapter's kind of done, right? But with Wilder getting a win, and he didn't look so great himself, you know, Joshua has. His name's been swirling around these two guys for so long that now they're both on the table, right? So it's like, which one do you take? Which one is less risky? Which one is more risky? You know, it's a lot to think about, because also, like you said, Joshua also going through a little bit of that tragedy situation with his friends and whatnot. And you don't know, every person deals with that a little bit differently. So we don't know where his head is at in that regard as well. And it's hard to predict that, because again, every individual goes through something like that a little bit differently, very differently. So in reality, it's one of those things where, you know, what do you choose for Anthony Joshua? My guess is as good as yours, guys. I mean, I don't even know what you think, but there's 2 fights on the table for Joshua right now. All of a sudden, you know, we were sort of writing the obituary on the careers of these 3 guys, and now all of a sudden they're all coming off of wins, and they're all sort of being mentioned among one another again.
Paul, my gut's telling me, after the little bit we picked up from AJ afterwards, he said, look, I went through something about 4 months ago. I've got to, you know, there's more real things happening in my life. I think he's half in, half out. I think he's seriously considering whether or not he wants to carry on boxing, because if there was ever a time for him to, that would jerk him into it to buy, would be then. I think he's not decided. We can all get excited and giddy. I think Johnny, he's not decided he wants to stay in this game.
It's a good point, but I'll say this: you got a good point, and you know what? I think from that regard, he wants to be a serious guy, because he realizes there's much more important things in life than this. So from that regard, I agree with you. But on the other end, he's at the fight. If he didn't want to partake, he wouldn't have showed up to the fight at all. So while I view him as a serious person, and he doesn't partake in the banter and so on and so forth, and maybe even more so now because of the tragedy that he's gone through, and he's sort of in this serious mindset, and I don't knock that at all. He's also at the fight, so in that regard, he also knows that, you know, he's probably promoting the fight or creating.
But he still couldn't commit. Go ahead. But he went all the way there to the fight, saw the fight, got called out, and still refused to commit to say, I want some of this. I think he's more out than in.
I think it's because he's in more negotiations with Deontay Wilder. That's what I truly believe it is. And after Deontay Wilder's
2 options. You're right, Spencer. He's got both options, so he's not going to commit to one or the other. He's not going to show his cards right now. I think AJ is going to keep his cards very close to his chest right now, because he's got some options.
Paulie, did you catch the Conor Benn fight? Did you catch the co-main event?
I did. You know what, guys? I'm done. I'm done with it. This guy is horrible. This guy's terrible. Netflix wants to be taken seriously as a boxing network. Then they write on the stat sheet on your TV screen, this guy's a 2-time world champion. This guy's not only never been a 1-time world champion, he will never be a world champion. Okay, now I understand the fanaticism about Ben, and I don't mind the entertainment side of it. That, you know, he's okay. He's not a bad fighter. Until you start mentioning him in world championships. I had a problem with Mario Barrios being such a bad world champion, and he's probably the worst world champion I ever saw in my life. But I'll say this, he came around in a weak welterweight division and won a legitimate welterweight title. This guy has never been a world champion, Conor Benn. Now, and is okay with Netflix promoting him as a 2-time world champion. That is absolutely disgraceful, shameless. Netflix themselves, who want to be taken seriously as a boxing network, should spit on their own face. for putting on such a clown stat. That is unbelievable. Because you know how many casuals watch this stuff and then will come in there. Then he looks like absolute dog doo-doo in the fight. So then the casuals are gonna be like, this is what a boxing world champion looks like. You know, it's not like he looked good even against a completely shot Regis Prograis. That is absolutely disgraceful. And you know what's more shameful is that Conor Benn is okay with all this. I don't mind Ben getting promoted. He's a son of a legend. He's okay. He's not a terrible fighter. He's okay. As far as championship level goes, he's not there, but he's okay to watch. I don't mind that. But with him being okay as well to be promoted as this ex-world champion, that in and of itself shows you the fantasy that he's living. Because I myself, if I was never a world champion, you promoted me as a world champion, I wouldn't feel right. I wouldn't feel right about that. I would feel like I need to go earn that and earn my place among those kind of conversations, among those kind of fighters, no matter how much fanfare I have. This is still boxing. That was a disgraceful. I saw that stat. I almost vomited in my own mouth.
Paulie, when did that happen? Honestly, we've been in the studio and we don't have...
Before the Conor Benn fight, they showed a stat on the television screen with Conor Benn's career and accolades. Basically, he's the son of Nigel Benn and so on and so forth. The top one was two-time world champion. Okay, two-time, not even one time. They made it twice. I guess making it up once wasn't enough for them. They had to make it up that he did it twice.
They must have put Regis Prograis' resume in the wrong column, mate. That's what they must have done. They kind of got that right.
You know what? I hope for their sake, I hope you are right. I want you to be right. I want you to be right.
I love this guy.
He doesn't mess about, does he? He doesn't mess about.
See, that's what we need, baby.
Go on.
And guys, I don't mind watching Conor Benn. I don't mind him getting the fanfare. He's an okay fighter. Just don't start mentioning him at world-class levels. Then you start crossing the line. Because he's not your Jake Paul either. So it's not like I'm throwing him all the way on the other side. I'm not doing that. I'm being a very honest person here. He's an okay fighter. Okay, but don't start mentioning him with these world-class situations and world-class fighters. He talks about Shakur Stevenson and all this other stuff. His name belongs nowhere near those guys, okay? For the fanfare, okay, I get it. People start talking about him. He's got a lot of popularity, and I understand that's going to happen. But don't start mentioning him boxing-wise with these guys. All of a sudden, right away, we start seeing tweets and Instagrams about this Shakur Stevenson fight and everybody. Shakur Stevenson would beat him with one hand. I would beat him. Right now. I would beat him, okay? Watch my fight next month on Bare Knuckle. Make up your own minds. BKB, May 16th in Manchester.
I'll be there, baby. I'll be there. I'm watching you, man. I'll be watching that.
Conor Benn's invited too if he wants a piece afterwards.
I'm just. he's just on the Netflix broadcast.
I'll beat him right now. I kid you not. Did you see that rhythm? He doesn't even know why he's jumping up and down. He's jumping up and down. He's leaping in with jabs. He doesn't even know what he's doing and why he's doing it. He's just doing it. You watch the guy fight, right? I mean, you saw the same fight I'm watching, right?
Paul,
does he know what he's doing?
I want to get your opinion.
Does he know why he's doing it?
I want to get your opinion on this because he's just on the broadcast right now and he's called out Ryan Garcia, the WBC champion. That's
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, and I get it. You know what? I don't. You know what? I don't even mind him being in a world title fight. He's never going to win a world title, but you know what? He's not bad where he shouldn't be in a title fight. I've said it myself. He will challenge for titles. I think his popularity also pushes him. He's not terrible, but he's also not of the championship level. He's clearly a rung below. Ryan beats him, maybe even stops him. But, I mean, I don't know. Whatever. I've been in boxing way too long to see these clown shows. It blows my mind.
Listen, how's the training going? Are you fit? You healthy? You feeling good?
It's going good. Yeah, I'm fit. I'm healthy. I'm doing some pro box work tonight.
Excellent.
Here in Atlantic City. And, I was enjoying the Fury show and the Fury card. Like I said, I had to swallow some of my own vomit when I saw that stat on the TV. But I'm good now. I'm good. I'm enjoying you guys. I'm enjoying the banter with you guys. I'm enjoying talking about it. And May 16th will be a fun night for me. And I look forward to trying to capture the BKB world title.
Do you know what we love about you, Paulie? You've only got to poke the bear. Once you poke the bear, mate, he's gone. That's it. Paulie Malignaggi says it as he sees it. I respect it.
Come on, you guys know I'm right. Maybe
I respect it, bro.
As much as I do, but you know I'm not wrong. You know I'm not wrong.
Listen, let me just say this: you was talking a lot of sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Spencer.
Pleasure,
I
bro.
knew you'd understand.
Paulie, you're a legend. God bless you, man. And good luck with the rest of your camp, man. See you soon. Take care.
See you guys next month.
Take care,
All right,
man.
later.
You're a top man. There you go.
He's a don, isn't he?
Mate, listen. The thing is, I think he speaks from the heart, and I think his attitude emulates quite a lot of where the fans are. You know, and they will resonate with what Paulie's just said there. All right, he's a little bit, there's no diplomacy with what he's saying. He's just shoot from the hip, let's go. But I think that's why people love Paulie Malignaggi.
Paulie's one of those guys, he knows how hard this business is. He knows how hard the game is. He's a two-weight world champion himself. He's been there, seen it, done it. And he goes, you can't just give someone them accolades. I think that's where he gets upset. He says, if they put a stat up, former two-time world champion, that's rattled his cage. Like I said, you poke the bear with Paulie.
I think that was a mistake, and he's jumped on.
I think they put Regis Prograis, two-time champion.
I think so. But once you get him going, Paulie, he's just that guy, and he's just looking at it, and he's just saying it as he sees it. He goes, look, Conor Benn. Look, Conor Benn, let's just say this, guys. He is still very much a work in progress. He is still improving. You got to give him that. Yeah, is he world-class yet? I would say no, he's not quite world-class yet. I don't think that when we're talking about the names in the 154 or 147, you know, it's difficult for him to compete with the top.
One thing you got to remember, his last 3 fights have been at that stadium.
Yeah.
So the boy's doing something right. But back to something that was mentioned earlier about AJ, and I just thought when he spoke about, you know, there's something out about 4 months ago.
You think he's half out?
I think he's half out.
Do you?
I do. I think he's half out because, and Paulie said when he turned up there, he went there, he's trying to convince himself, said, do I really want this? And we were like, get in the ring, man. And as a fighter, you think, get in there. I think he's half out.
And that's where my theory comes from. Right? I say, listen, and I said it to you earlier, Adam, didn't I? I said, look, I think for Anthony Joshua is like why I said Deontay Wilder and then Tyson Fury, because Anthony Joshua's got to deal with all those demons, all those ghosts.
But he mentioned it.
No, but I think he does it with Deontay Wilder.
No, but what I'm saying, he mentioned that. You don't play with that. You don't use it for PR. You don't use it as an excuse. This is real life. And so for him to say that, for him to say, look, there's realer things in life, I'm real. I'm telling you now, this boy's half out. Because there was never an opportunity to give you that nudge to make your mind just say, I'll have this. That's made my mind up. Then, because he's thinking, no, you're not. No, you lot, all you people in this arena, all you people that watch it on TV, because that'll go viral, have not peer pressured him.
Yeah.
And so if he went there for a reason, that reason would say, how much do I want this?
Johnny, and if you're half out, this is not the game to be in. You have to be all in, or you got to be all out. All this, once a fighter starts thinking about retirement, starts thinking of, all these doubts creeping in, it's the wrong game to be in.
Do you remember when Nigel Benn boxed Steve Collins? Yeah. And he quit halfway through the ring, halfway in the fight?
Yeah.
You never in your millions not thought Nigel Benn would do that. And so even before you got in the ring, you thought, he was in for the wrong reason. He thought, you know what? I'm done, I'm quit. I'm out of here. Nigel Benn, the Dark Destroyer, doing that. So the worst place you can be in when you're half out is in the ring.
Yeah.
And AJ, right there, I thought, and I'm thinking, come on, get in. And then after he spoke and he said, look, I'm like, he's half out. He's off. He's going to get a lot of stick. It's not going to put him under pressure. You're not going to poke the bear. You're not going to poke his ego. He's half out.
Listen, we're going to keep talking about what we've witnessed at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We've got about half an hour of the programme remaining. There's a lot still going on in the world of golf over in Augusta. Sean's across it. Sean, what's the latest with the leaderboard?
Yeah, Rory McIlroy leads the Masters by one shot, but he watched his overnight lead vanish in round 3 today. Really hasn't been pretty. Everyone seems to be under par except McIlroy. And Cam Young hunted him down. 7 under par today. He leads in the clubhouse, and he actually overtook McIlroy at one point, despite being 8 shots behind him at the start of play. But Rory's just gone back-to-back with a couple of birdies on 14 and 15, so he regains a one-shot lead. But suddenly it is a very bunched up leaderboard. You're looking at people like Sam Burns just 2 shots back, Shane Lowry 3 shots back, Jason Day and Justin Rose 4 shots back. So Rory's got a lot to do. He's wobbling a little bit. He's still got 3 holes left to play, and you can follow it in our live blog on talksport.com.
The Masters on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan.
Stick with us. If you want to get involved with the show, you can do. 03717 22 3344. We'll pick the bones out of everything that we've witnessed at Tottenham Hotspur tonight.
Ethan and Wary, and Miles Lewis Skelly this summer, and we're talking about maybe 100 million for the pair. That's too much, surely.
Well, no, I mean they're great prospects, aren't they?
100 mil for
Skelly's probably just he's not had a great time lately. He's just fell away from that first team a little bit. He's got a lot of people in front of him at the moment. And Capio, who's come in, he's done a really good job on that left hand side. You got Calafiori as well. So I feel for him a little bit because you're a young player. You went through that little bit of stage where your form ain't great. A lot has happened in his career very quickly, Al. I mean, scoring a goal for England, playing for your country at a young age. So it might have just caught up with him a little bit, but he's just got to keep working hard and see where it takes him. Wanyeri's on loan at the moment, but he's a top player as well. A really, really
and you're really
great
happy
talent.
with young Max, aren't you?
Oh, Max he's doing different class. 16. People forget he's only 16. It's amazing. He changed the game. He changed the game when he come on against Everton. He looked like
and was getting back and helping out.
Yeah, and he scored that first goal. As I said before, his family must be so proud to watch him. Has gone through the ranks and all that, and he's a really good grounded young kid. So he's going to be a real prospect. Look, things can go wrong still, as in football. You know what it's like. Al, you had a poor injury, didn't you, yourself?
Yeah.
And injuries can affect you.
A gradual injury.
But I think the technology now is a lot better from when you was around, I should imagine. But he's got everything going for him. He's just got to keep working hard, and he's going to make a difference as well. And he's a real talent. Absolutely, could be one of the best players ever.
It's Fight Night on talkSPORT. I'm Adam Catterall, Spencer Oliver and Johnny Nelson alongside me after witnessing Tyson Fury doing the business against Arslanbek Makhmudov. Straightforward in the end. We said that it would be. It got a little bit sketchy in the first couple of rounds, but then all of a sudden Tyson Fury got into his rhythm and absolutely coasted the fight. Earlier on, Conor Benn coasted against Regis Prograis. Regis Prograis now, in the aftermath of that, has announced his retirement. Conor Benn on all three scorecards got a 98-92 decision. Through 10 rounds. Where he heads next, we don't know, but I'm sure we'll be told in the next few weeks. Where Tyson Fury heads next, we still don't know, even though he tried to tell us. Check this out. This is the exchange between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua after the fight.
Next, I want to give you the fight you've all been waiting for. I want you, AJ, Anthony Joshua. Let's give the fight fans what they want. The Battle of Britain. And here's my challenge. I challenge you, Anthony Joshua, to fight me, the Gypsy King, next. Do you accept my challenge?
Tyson, I've never had no problem getting in the ring with you. I punched you up when we were kids. And after watching you here tonight, I'll punch you up again. With all due respect, tonight is your night, and you know I'll sit across that ring from you in due time. You ain't gonna tell me what to do. I've been chasing you for the last 10 years. When you're ready, you come and see me and tell me your terms and conditions, and I'll have you in the ring when I'm ready. I'm the boss.
Do you know something? The more I think about it, the more I'm on team AJ with what he just said.
I like.
I'm not dancing to your tune, pal. I'll do what I want to do. I get it. As a fight fan, we're all sat there, and I've no doubt everybody's in there. They've had a few bevies in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I'd have been the same. I'd have been going, get in there, AJ. Go nose to nose, because everybody wants that particular moment, don't they? I remember when, I can't even tell you who Canelo fought, but I remember the aftermath of it when he got nose to nose with Triple G for the first time. And that was the image after the fight. Can't even remember what the fight was, but I remember that particular image, and it was absolutely tremendous. I think if we get that image, obviously that's the most viral moment.
Yeah, the day that happens is the day the fight's happening. But so before with many the fight, the fight's happening, and none of them have actually said it's happening at the same time. And AJ, I understand AJ's frustration. You know what? We've almost had this over the line, and you've changed the terms and conditions the last minute, the last second of the last minute. He's not having it, but I just think he's still in a place of.
I agree with you. Yeah. Now that you've highlighted that, it feels quite obvious that that's where he would be at, because it's only 4 months removed since what happened to his friends. And we're not talking about like acquaintances. We're talking about best pals. And he was there when it happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's a big thing to come to terms with, come to some type of peace with before you start getting in that ring.
There were 60,000 people in that stadium. So if you're talking about peer pressure, and he knows the cameras of the world are on him right there. So if he was going to say, do it, that was the time. And he wasn't bending. He wasn't like...
And I also heard AJ, talking sort of like since then, since the tragedies, about how that he's going to deal with that. When he decided to continue boxing, when he said, you know what, I'm going to continue boxing. I'm going to continue boxing for my friends, the people that I lost. I'm going to do it for them. I'm going to do it for... So he's trying to channel that into the box. He's trying to deal with it in his own way, and he's trying to, like, a couple of months ago he was saying he was going to do that through boxing. Now he might be having second thoughts again. That's what I'm saying. He's like, his head at the moment is like, it's a difficult situation that he's in. Only he knows how he's going to deal with it, and I think that's what he's trying to find right now.
Man,
we're talking about Wilder, we're talking about Fury. We might not. You're right, Johnny. You might not ever see him in the ring again.
And it's the pressure from Eddie wants him to fight. Eddie can't say, and Eddie, this is mate. Eddie wants him to fight. It's perfect for business, and he'll have people around him just trying to push him to say, well, maybe. And he still hasn't said, I'm on it, because he's half out. And I'm telling you now, if he's half out now, he's out. And if he goes into the fight for the wrong reasons, he'll get turned over and regret it for the rest of his life. He's got it. To be under that kind of, those eyeballs right there and then, I'm like, I don't care what you said, this boy's half out.
Yeah, you got a valid point, to be fair. It's interesting, like, thinking about it, like, when you process it. Because before that, I'm going, no, he wants Wilder, then he's going to go for Fury, or does he go straight for Fury?
You know what it's like
when you process it, like you say, Johnny, and the way that he's trying to deal with things, reaction pieces and everything else, there is a little bit of...
Listen, lads,
see your point of view.
You two lads have been there, right? If you're sat there ringside and someone's giving it the big one to you,
you're going to say some SIT back, man.
Come on, man.
You've got to. It's a knee-jerk reaction. Your ego's going to kick in as a fighter. Like, you aren't mugging me off. I don't care if it's just... But he's like, nope, I'm not playing.
Yeah. You're going to get out your chair, mate. You're going to jump in the ring. You have to. Your ego would tell you that. It's a gladiatorial sport. That's what you do. Someone calls you out, you take the bait. Especially in that moment, you think, I've got 60,000 fans here and they're all cheering at Fury going, I want you next. I've got to respond. I've got to do something. It's like,
it's just, we'd all love it. We'd all love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love to see it, but good on him. Good on him. Good on him for actually doing it in his time. Taking it, and remember, he's got Eddie next to him, and Eddie, I'm quite sure Eddie would love him to box, even though it's his mate. And he's like, nope, it'll happen if and when I'm ready.
Yeah. Listen, I've no doubt that'll be holding a lot of the conversation over the next 24, 48 hours on talkSPORT, so make sure you come back for the fallout of that. Conor Benn, obviously, Paulie Malignaggi's just been on. He's given his thought process on it, but you know full well that this is going to be pointed towards a world title next.
Yeah.
Do you think it will be the Ryan Garcia fight?
I think it'll be the Ryan Garcia fight. That and it worries me that Ben down at 147 is going to be a massive struggle. Trust me on that. 150 was the tester, a little benchmark. Can I make it? Will I still carry the strength? Can I do the rounds?
He came under 150.
He done 149.2 or 149.6, I think. So, he done well. He come under it. That's enough. When you see them 40s, all of a sudden you're thinking, I'm nearly there now. But trust me, like Johnny will vouch for me here when I say this. Losing 2 pounds, when you're tight at the weight, to lose 2 or 3 pounds, man, I went through it and it was just so difficult and it's horrible. And that's the difference between performing and underperforming.
And when you did it, did you have to weigh in and fight on the same day?
Started off that way and then I'd done it. So I'd done it both ways. I'd done it the first, so I was weighing on the day.
Always same day?
Same day.
Yeah.
Well, it was only probably the last year after I saw my career, it was like, and there was a benefit of that, but we had to do it on the same day and it zaps you.
Yeah.
It takes so much out of you. You might look the part, but...
And the weight,
but even
the weight was different. Cruiserweight was different because they added
13 stone 8. The IBF is 13 stone 7, and the other governing body was 13 stone 8, and you had to do it on the same day.
And it's now 14-4, isn't it?
Tonight's 14-4, and that's why when I looked at Richard Riakporhe, and I thought, wow, he's letting his shots go. I used to go in the gym and watch him train. I'm like, let the shot go. And then asking him, speaking to him, he said, and I got it. I thought, how have you ever done cruiserweight? Because now you look like an Adonis, whatever you weighed on a fight tonight. But I just thought, honestly, it makes too much of a difference. And you've seen guys like Roy Jones jump up to heavyweight and come back down again.
Of course.
Never the same again.
Of course. How do you see that fight going with Ryan Garcia?
I think the weight's going to be the problem for him. You know, I think that Ryan Garcia will be too quick, too strong, and he'll win that fight because it's down at 147. I think Conor Benn's future lies at the 154. I think, but the problem he's got then is you've got your Boots Ennis, you've got your Virgil Ortiz, you know, you've got Xander Zayas, you've got those guys.
Errol Spence, I think he's even got up there now, and he's thinking of coming back. Yeah.
So look, it's difficult whichever way that he falls. If he can make 147 and he can hold his strength there, then he's going to get his shot, isn't he? Ryan Garcia is a huge fight for him. Look, you know, I think that he's built his profile over in the States as well. You know, Netflix is a huge player now. He's boxed on Netflix now, so he's starting to gain that profile, and he would have gained a whole new bunch of fans off the back of that Netflix performance as well. I can see him and Garcia next. I can see that fight happening.
He's
a lot of money on the table.
He's taken one step closer in the right direction, fighting a former world champion. Right, so in doing that, he's taken one step closer. So it's developing him as a fighter. Is he ready to go in both feet first? You know, will that be next? That's what they want. If you've signed with the big boys now, you're with Zuffa, and that's what they want. So now it's time to pay the piper.
And also, if you want another payday like that, now if you want another payday, $15 million, which he got there, which is blows my mind, phenomenal money. If you want that again, though, it's going to have to be a WBC world title fight. It's going to have to be a Ryan.
The only fight that would generate it and generate the interest would be Ryan Garcia,
Absolutely.
because they're both characters within the game that have obviously got controversies in and around them, and bringing them two together for a title fight, I think would absolutely be gigantic. I know that you boys were talking earlier on about AJ and Fury, and I agree with you. I think it is the biggest fight, but when you think of fights outside of the division, when you're talking profile, that is actually right up there.
You know what?
From an eyeballs point of view,
Ryan Garcia, Conor Benn globally is a bigger fight than AJ versus Fury. Probably, yeah, because Ryan Garcia has a huge following, massive following.
Yeah.
You know? It's an interesting one. It's as big anyway.
Let us know your thoughts. 03717 22 33 We're going to talk about the landscape of the heavyweight division just to finish off the programme. You're listening to Fight Night Live on talkSPORT with Sky Vegas. It all starts with a spin. You've got to be over 18. Gambleaware.org.
Pep Guardiola has been speaking today about his team's tendency to finish season strongly.
Hopefully we can do a lot of points. It's at the situation that we are in the Premier League, so we need to do all of them. Otherwise we will not give us a chance to try it until the end. So we need to do a lot of points. We were not consistent enough during the season. We dropped points that we should take it, and that's why we're in the position that now we cannot do it differently.
He also talked a little bit about on whether he feels more excited at this time of the year. No, he says, I have a lot of yellow cards. That means how excited I am. Not just for April, but during the season, I have had a good energy, and I still have good energy. You get the feeling that he thinks that there's still a chance that they can catch them.
I think they're probably going to have to win every game to do it. We were just working it out there on Gabby's crib sheet. They've got 8 games left. They're on 61 points. So if they win every game, they get to 85. That would mean that Arsenal on 70 need 5 wins from their last 7 games. If they win every game, Manchester City, they've got a squeak, especially as they play Arsenal. But they have no margin for error. And I actually agree with Gabby. We all think Chelsea will lose on Sunday, but it might be a more difficult task than we think. Remember, they went with the under-21 manager to the Etihad Chelsea and got a point.
Johnny, you're going to laugh at this. I just had a message from somebody that was listening to the conversation that we were having with Paulie Malignaggi, who has just shedded a little bit of light on the truth of what Paulie was sending our way. So, for those that have only just joined the show, in the aftermath of what happened at Tottenham with, obviously, Tyson Fury getting the job done and Conor Benn winning a little earlier on, Paulie was a little bit animated, stating that the broadcast had stated that they had projected Conor Benn as a former 2-time world champion. And obviously this upset Paulie, rightfully so, at the end of the day, because that is false. And there's a casual audience watching the broadcast and they will be misled. However, I am reliably informed that Paulie has misread the screen. Because I've received a text message from somebody that was watching the Netflix broadcast, and it said, as part of the graphic, that Conor Benn is the son of the former 2-time world champion Nigel Benn.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, I just wanted to clear that up for people that are tuning into the show thinking, I didn't see that, because we asked him. I said, listen, we didn't see that. Where was that? But he was adamant that it was on just before the show. But I'm told by a reliable source that it was a graphic that said he's the son of the...
And that makes total sense.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
There you go. He's still angry, though. Paulie's still angry somewhere, isn't he?
Yeah, they should have put it up there. You know, he's wherever he was, he's storming up and down that corridor, screaming, can't believe that they've called him a 2-time. I'm a 2-time world champion.
That's
Brilliant.
fair.
Absolutely.
If you are just joining us, Tyson Fury got the job done tonight against Arslanbek Makhmudov. The big talking point, though, will be the aftermath when he called out Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua didn't join him in the ring. We've given our thoughts on that. I'm sure you'll catch up on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel about it. Conor Benn did win. He beat Regis Prograis, who announced his retirement in the aftermath of the fight. We think the next one for Conor Benn will be Ryan Garcia. A massive fight for the WBC welterweight world championship, but we will wait because there's other options. Rolly Romero could be an option as well on the domestic level. Lewis Crocker might get the call. There's some big names obviously knocking about in that welterweight division, so we will wait as to see what the direction for Conor Benn is next. Next week, though, gentlemen, I'm a little bit gutted, got to be honest. I was looking forward to Callum Smith and David Morrell. I thought that was going to be an absolute cracking fight. We wish Callum all the best with his recovery. But Ben Whittaker gets the opportunity to headline in Liverpool. A lot of eyes on Ben Whittaker. I'm a fan. I like all the showboating. I like what he's doing, Johnny. And hopefully at some point it's going to really take off for him, because I think he could be one of those in the next generation.
I do too. But the only thing I worry about is injury. For Ben, I think Ben he plays a great role. He plays a great villain. He's actually a really nice kid, God-fearing kid.
Yeah,
but he doesn't mind the flack he gets, and he's a hard grafter. But when you see him on screen, he's like Marmite, because he makes out as I'm not bothered. This kid works hard, but the kid can fight, and to say he's not really won anything significant, he's one of the few fighters that in the UK...
He's got an Olympic silver medal.
Yeah, I mean as a professional.
Right, yeah.
Professional.
Yeah.
You'd think, and he's on the tip of everybody's tongue. Him and Conor, with the fighters that had not achieved anything as professional fighters, you think you're going to be ticket sellers.
The earners, absolutely.
The big earners. And as long as he keeps going in the right direction, I think him and Eddie is a perfect union. You've got two braggadocious individuals that that can create something out of nothing. And I think they've got to keep him busy. They've got to keep him active. Got to make sure the matchmaking is as important as the results of fights, and keep moving in the right direction.
And this is no disrespect to anybody he's worked with in the past. I think teaming up with Andy Lee's worked for him.
Oh, absolutely.
From a respect level, he respects what Andy's telling him, doesn't he?
That's a dream match, make that as well. You know, I think that Andy implemented something into his style that was maybe missing. He's a bit light on his feet, weren't sitting down on his shots enough. We still get the razzmatazz, but when he punches, he sits down on his shots and lets them go.
Yeah.
Andy Lee was that guy, so I think that's a match made in heaven. Ben Whitcomb is sort of made for this game. You know what we need is Johnny's right. Inactivity is a big problem. Yeah. Injuries is a big problem. If he can get that right and they can get that activity, then I expect him. He derailed, didn't he, against Liam Cameron, but then got him. Then he got straight back on the track, straight back on the horse, if you like, and put righted the wrongs of that contest. So. Yeah, I think that Ben Whittaker's one to keep your eye on for sure.
Well, that's next week in Liverpool. We're going to talk about the upcoming schedule as well. Before we do, let's get a little update, shall we, from Augusta. What's going on with the golf, Sean?
Yeah, Rory McIlroy no longer your outright leader at the Masters. Bogey on 17, and that puts Cam Young alongside him at the top of the leaderboard on 11 under par. Young is sitting pretty in the clubhouse. Rory still has to play 18, and he's just hit it all over the place today. This round really can't end soon enough. Been a real far cry from what we saw the first 2 days. Elsewhere on the leaderboard, Sam Burns now within 1. Shane Lowry made a hole-in-one earlier today. He's within 2 and just finished his third round. And Justin Rose's fairy tale is very much alive. He's 3 back alongside Jason Day. And don't forget, Scotty Scheffler shot 7 under today, and he's suddenly just 4 shots back. So it's become rather stressful for Rory McIlroy. We've seen this one before. He co-leads the Masters alongside Cam Young with 1 to play, and you can follow our live blog on talksport.com.
The Masters on talkSPORT with Arnold Clark. Buy a used car and get a free 2-year service plan.
Top man, Sean. Whilst we've been speaking about heavyweights, week after next, Paris the destination. Where are you at with Lawrence Okolie? He's got a good one against Tony Yoka, hasn't he?
You know what? I think Lawrence Okolie needs to find his positioning. Now he's stepped up to heavyweight. Lawrence Okolie, he's shouting and bawling, and he obviously wasn't as excited at cruiserweight. Now he's going to find himself in fights where he's got to fight and prove his worth and get the respect of everybody else out there. I get he's an absolute nightmare for all the heavyweights out there, because it's like trying to manage a box of frogs. But he's just, as a heavyweight, you know, once you get to the top, he's unfortunately, he's just in the Who Needs Him club.
Well, I think we saw with Richard Riakporhe tonight, didn't we, that moving up in weight, Lawrence Okolie falls into that same category where...
I think he's filled out really good, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he was at that where he outgrew cruiserweight. Right, okay. And then that performance you saw against Chris Billam-Smith, where he was sort of like all tentative, and when he was getting half hit, he was going down. It was because he was struggling so much at that weight. He's a different animal again at heavyweight, where you see that, you know, that rebirth of confidence, if you like.
Style as well. Joe Gallagher's got the style going.
I was up there last week with him, and I was watching him work up there, and I'll tell you what, he took a couple of sparring partners out. He's punching very, very hard. I've also been in the gym with Tony Yoka as well, who is boxing, the Olympic gold medalist, Rio 2016 Olympic gold medalist, who suffered outside of the ring, personal problems that were causing him problems inside the ring, you know, and I think that now that's all behind him. He looks great as well. That's a good fight, mate, because Tony Yoka has been written off in this fight. He looks unbelievable.
Yeah, but if
he
Lawrence...
really does it. If he can do what he's doing in the gym, on fight night, and it's in France as well, it's in Paris.
That's what I mean.
In his hometown.
But if Lawrence goes to Paris and beats him, stops him,
you've got to put some spec on the back of his name.
Absolutely.
If he does that, because if fighters can go away and fight in the backyard of whoever it is and come back, you've got, no matter what you think of his style, you've got to respect him.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Do you know how this fight was made? By the way, Lawrence Okolie,
were you involved? No. Causing trouble?
We was in Nigeria.
Yeah, right, okay, yeah.
We saw.
I thought you'd be in the middle of it.
No. So the fight was made because Lawrence Okolie was looking for an opponent. Tony Yoka put his name out there, and Lawrence said, you know what? He's got the WBC #1 position. He's looking for someone, and he just said, yeah, let's make the fight. I'll come to your backyard. It makes sense for us to do it there. Financially, and you go, you have to respect that.
Yeah, massively.
Like Lawrence taking that gamble to go to Tony Yoka's backyard. This Olympic gold medalist, the kid that looked like he was going all the way, derailed because of personal problems outside of the ring, now teamed up with Don Charles, gone under the radar, boxed 4 small hall shows, Olympic gold medalists, and he's found himself back in this position. I'm telling you, he looks a dangerous force in the gym, as does Lawrence. That's a great fight.
Speaking of Don Charles's charges, Wardley Dubois, go on. Okay. It's a shootout, that.
I'm gonna lean towards Dubois. I'm going to lean towards Dubois because he has everything natural about him. A natural jab, a natural strength, an underrated jab. I think if he believes he can win, he's unbelievable. You cannot stop him. If he really believes he reminds me of Herbie Hyde. Herbie Hyde, Herbie Hyde came to our gym, and Herbie Hyde, there was times they were talking about me and him fighting when he was at Matchroom, and he never fancied it, and because he didn't think he could beat me, and he came up to our gym, and he was training with us for a while, and Herbie was sparring, and Herbie put his hands out because I started to put it on him at the ropes. He put his hands out. I couldn't get past him. He was strong as lock. I'm thinking, Jesus, this boy didn't realise how strong, and he was terrified. I'm thinking, this kid doesn't realise how good he is. But because he didn't think he could beat me, he never wanted us to be in that position. I thought, you're going to be a nightmare. And Daniel Dubois is one of those fighters. If he doesn't think he can do it, as soon as something goes wrong, he'll like, I'm out. Now, he sparred with Fabio previously, and they'll live off that. He'll think, I used to beat you up then, and I'll still beat you up again. He's going to go in there so confident. Wardley's very good at thinking and digging deep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to side towards Daniel.
Let me flip this. So he sparred with Fabio Wardley when Fabio obviously, just started the game. We know his background and what he's come from, white collar to world champions. Incredible story. Fabio would have improved immensely since them days.
Without a doubt.
Let's say Fabio gets through those first 3 or 4 rounds and he's still in front of Daniel and then starts putting it on Daniel. Does that psychologically break Daniel?
No disrespect to Daniel, but he hasn't got that kind of intelligence. He's not that kid.
Do you reckon he'll break then?
No. Because he's like a robot. That's me. I'm having someone. Remember when he had the press conference with AJ and he sat there and said, "You don't intimidate me." And you saw this boy actually thought, "I've got your number." And AJ had that sinister the look about him, and Daniel's like didn't care. I'm telling you now, Daniel is that kind of kid where if he believes he's going to do you, even though we all don't think it's possible, his head's on it. His head's on it. And so regardless of how well, we see how well Fabio's improved as a fighter now, Daniel doesn't. I was in the gym years ago where kids used to beat me up that were smaller than me, then left, then came back, but they still saw me as that kid they used to beat up, and I'd batter them. And it's done their head in. They're thinking, well, I'm better than him, even though I've just battered them.
Yeah.
And so they didn't appreciate the growth. I don't think Daniel appreciates the growth of Fabio Wardley.
Yeah.
And that'll be his downfall. So if he loses, he'll get stopped. He'll get stopped if he loses because he'll walk into a shot. But I think he goes in, thinks, I'm having you. I'm going to side with him.
But that's the thing that Fabio doesn't do, does he? He doesn't lose faith in himself. He'll just stay in the fight.
Fabio is that guy, you just use that Portman Road, his homecoming. Justice Hooney, it was meant to be a blowout. Hooney was beating him up round after round, and it was hammering down the rain. I'm just looking at him going, mate, this is not your night. When are you going to quit? Every fighter's got a pain threshold. Every fighter reaches that. He's old school. He's Cole Frotch style.
Yeah.
Head was down. He just walks back and you go, surely, mate, this is it. You've got to start feeling sorry for yourself. And he doesn't. He's old school, man. And that is the difference with Fabio.
I'm a big fan of him because of that. I'm a big fan of him because
I think the fans are falling in love with him because he keeps proving them wrong time and time again. And he gets the opportunity to do it once again as world champion on the 9th of May, taking on Daniel Dubois in an absolute blockbuster in the heavyweight division. Listen, gentlemen, thank you very much for your company tonight. Much appreciated. We've been calling through the fights at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. If you just joined us, Fury got the job done. Conor Benn got the job done. And all the fallout will be on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. We'll catch you next time.